Go back on my page on the first shit. Alright, y'all. So, today, we are going to be talking about bitter baby mamas. Okay? We're going to be talking about how your family always try to, like, intervene with what you got going on and all of those things. So, Key, you say you had a good story, so let's start off with you about your talk.
So my story is more so about parents intervening into a relationship. So I'm not gonna say no names, of course. So this is a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. I was going to LSU, and I was with this certain guy, and he was a bad boy, drug dealer,
like a rough
girl,
little roughnecks.
in and out of jail. Wasn't really doing nothing for himself, but for some reason, I was wrapped. I don't know, stuck on stupid, y'all. Okay,
I'm weak.
So one day, you know, I was staying with his, like living with him and his mama and his sisters. But I would tell my mama that I was staying on campus. So one day, you know, my mama and my stepdaddy called me, and they like, well, you know, you need to come over here because we got something for you. Y'all, I'm in college, broke. I was working 2 jobs.
My friend thought it was a bag, y'all. My friend
okay, I thought I was going to get some money, okay? And, you know, his mama and sister was like, get dressed up. We taking you out to eat. We taking you on, you know, to a dinner. So I'm like, damn, they don't want me to come. Like, what this is? But I had to go see what my mama and them wanted. Okay. Y'all, I get there, get to my mama and them house. We talking, laughing. Y'all having us a good old holly jolly fucking time, okay? So, they never ain't give me no money, nothing. So, I'm getting ready to go. And all of a sudden, I hear a knock on the door. Y'all, my mama like, okay, Kiana, go ahead, get the door. I don't know who that is. Like, who could be coming here at this time? Like, it's like 5, 6 o'clock. Yeah. My mama like, go get the door. Let's see, who is that? Who coming here this time of night? I go open the door, y'all. It's my boyfriend, his mama, his sister. Oh, girl. So, like, me and him look at each other like, what the fuck? Like, we like, what they got going on? What's going on? So... so my stepdaddy and mom, like the parents sitting across from us, and you know his.
So y'all had an intervention,
kind of on some shit. So you know, cause we was like really toxic to each other. Like I had tried to set his clothes on fire in front of his mama's house. Like, girl, it was really bad. Like we was to fight up and down the street. Like it was really bad. So. Mind you, I'm going, at this point, I'm a pre-med major, so, you know, I'm in biology, chemistry, so I'm doing my homework and everything at their house, going to LSU. At the beginning, his mama like, oh, yeah, this is such a good girl. She gonna turn your life around, all this and all that. This boy got me josing him while he in jail, like, putting money on my phone, money on his books, like, belling him to get out. He was high, y'all, wrecked his car, literally ran into a church, get out the car, stripped ass naked, running down the street.
He was on some different.
Yeah, so I called off from work, go to the hospital, sit up the hospital with him all day. My mama come up there, y'all, she look at me like, who you stupid? Like,
right.
Woo, his mama.
See, that's the thing about, like, when you in them relationships like that, girl, and, like, your people just be like, they don't let you get over the nigga, girl. They want to pick for you, like, they want to tell you, and that make you want to go to the nigga more because it's just like, oh.
Prove you wrong.
Yeah. But see, my mama, my parents was really in the church, so I'm a pastor's kid, so I grew up really in the church. So for them to see me with this hoodlum, like they was.
It's always. Why do you think it's like that though? It's always like that. Like the preacher's daughters always be the hot ones.
Girl,
no,
they always be the little freaks.
Amen.
Wow. For real though.
Y'all, so they sitting across from us, me and him sitting there. Now we just looking at each other like what they about to say. Y'all, this lady tells my mama how I'm just this horrible person that turned her son so sour. Mind you, he used to serve her, like, so, you know, yes. So, she, like, I'm just this horrible person. I don't put no groceries in their house. Like, mind you, I'm buying groceries, washing powder. Your house finna get foreclosed on, man. Yeah. So, that was an issue before I even got here, you know. So, like, my mama, like, me and my mama relationship wasn't really the best at the time. So, she just already disappointed. They just looking at me like I had shit on my face, y'all. It looked like I stank. Like they have never seen me before. I wasn't their child, girl. After that conversation, my mama dropped me off at school. She had took my car keys. They basically disowned me. So
okay, so question. Do you feel like, all right, do y'all feel like when you do confide in your parents about something, like, just say, like, if you're in a toxic relationship and you confide in your parents, like, oh, he did this and that and the other, like, do you feel like they should let go when you let go? Or do you feel like they should be on whatever you want? I mean, because it's never like that. It's like, once you confide in them and tell them something, like, they will always hate
because you get over it.
I mean, I could say that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to, as a girl, you're supposed to be able to confide in your mother and vent and get advice, but that's not reality. Like, I could tell her anything and it'll just be like,
That's what happened to me. Me and my boyfriend, of course, been together for almost 4 years in August. And I was confiding into her about how I feel like I'm ready to have a kid, I'm ready to get married, and the stuff that he does. And instead, me and her got in an argument. She turned it around against me and said, you treat him better than you treat us as a family. And why would you want to be with someone that don't even want to marry you? And I was like, wait a minute, I told you that in confidentiality.
Right. Yes.
Like you don't come back
use
and
it
throw
against me.
You're using it against me. I told you because I thought we had a good relationship, and now you're turning around and using that against me. So that's like a prime example.
That's why you don't tell people stuff.
That's what, and it's
but
my
not
mother,
everybody
though.
say that though. But everybody tells somebody something. Like everybody be like, oh, don't tell your friend, don't tell this. But if you really my friend, I should be able to tell you stuff.
This, I was told like this, and then I think I was told this late, but the dude told me it was like, always watch what you tell somebody. Like, don't never tell everybody the same thing. So if something ever come back,
you'll know who
exactly where it came from. And when I really learned that, like, and mastered that, like, I would tell two people the same thing, but I done told it to you 2 different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even if the story was like dragged on or exaggerated a little bit, I can tell where it came from, like, because I know the people who I told.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like everybody said, like I said, you should have friends, because shit, you are listening, it'll never come out your mouth.
Right.
So you should have friends that you feel like you can go to, confide in them, tell them, and it won't get out, like, period.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just how it is.
That's not reality.
That's not reality.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
It's hard though because when you're going through something as a woman,
you just want somebody. You just want to understand.
Yeah. Like I can talk to Kiana about it, and the same thing I told Kiana, I can tell another friend that I work with, and instead she is judging me, and Kiana won't judge me.
One friend hold more weight than the other. Really.
Yeah, and like I trust Kiana, honestly with my life, even though we just met a couple months ago. And you can tell though, like people judge you, but you don't know that until it happens.
It's real.
Like you don't know it. Like I can tell Kiana my entire life, and I know that she would never judge me. I don't want to say on my side.
Girl, I've been trying.
She can tell me the truth, but still like not judge me.
Can we get to the root of that? Like, is it judging or condemning? Because we are actually supposed to judge.
I judge, but I don't judge, but
judge
I condemn.
and look at you like
condemning is 2 different things. Right. Judge it like once I see you, I know that you're a female, I know that you're pretty, I know that you're this, you're that. I have to identify you in order to judge you. But condemning you is when you're doing something and I'm gonna
tell you wrong. I'm gonna hold you accountable.
As if not even saying condemning is wrong, because condemning is like I'm casting you to hell, or I'm saying that what you're doing is wrong or worse than something else, when it's really not. You just got a problem going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not our job to condemn somebody.
Right.
A lot of religious folk do that in church, and that's why a lot of people don't.
That's why I don't go to church.
You are supposed to judge
They
people.
love preaching about condemning people. Man, one that will condemn you.
That's
they preach that backwards.
But I just think like people we already have this in our head, like this script in our head of how it should go when we talk to somebody. So when it don't go like that, like you feel like that person judging you or that person talking down on you just because that person don't agree with what you saying or what you doing, or it don't go as how you said it in your head. And that's like I was just telling T today, I'm like, like when you a good person, you expect everybody to treat you how you treat them. Like you just expect everybody to be good, and that's not how it is. So it's like you going in this with expectations that this is a good friend. Right. So when it don't show up like that, it's like, damn, like what I did for you to do that to me, like.
That's why you judge
But
people.
one thing too, man, that I noticed though, if you sit there, bro, and you was to ask God to reveal those friends to you, they reveal stuff on their own, bro. Yeah, see certain things, bro. Certain things.
You make friends too quick, or we make friends off the wrong reasons. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you can make friends, like you say, y'all just met, but that's somebody that you could really talk to, and she not condemn you. Like, that is a high, that should be like a top priority characteristic in any friendship. Like, but we be friends with people just because we go to parties with them or we at work with them.
Well,
that's not convenience.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop being friends with people for convenience. Like,
I can't say growing up, I'm the only child. So growing up as the only child, when I did get friends, like that wasn't friends that my mama brought to me, and I would cling to them. And so I had to learn the hard way, like everybody is not your friend. Like you can't befriend everybody.
And another thing that I had to learn too, yes, D says the spirit of discernment. Yes. And another thing I had to learn too, like I used to always be like, oh, I don't need no friends. I don't need this. I don't need that. Like you need good
everybody
friends.
needs somebody.
Like
everybody don't have the spirit of discernment. Like you got to pay attention. Like stop rushing everything, just going off the first move. Like
because it feels
cool.
Good.
Like
it's cool
gonna
always
to
reveal
chill.
itself.
Like
Always.
I've learned that when you do pick friends or when you do become friends, you have to understand why they like you said, why they became your friend in the first place. Is that for convenience? Because people will use your energy.
That's a word.
And that's something that I had to. I'm a very friendly person and I'm a very forgiving person. And one thing I have to learn, and I'm 20. I'll be 26 next month. And one thing I just found out is that people will use you for your energy. Like if they lack something, they'll become your friend to make up for what they lack.
So, but hold on, isn't that like what you supposed to? Not like use that person, but like just say about like that's how it is in a relationship. You go for people who I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
I know what you're trying to say. Like you go for someone that can make up what you lack. But
everything is a give and take. Like the trees take from the ground and the trees give back air.
But you said, but the key word is give back.
Give and take. Like so, you look for somebody who you can pour that energy into, but you gotta make sure that they can send that energy back, and they gotta send the same energy back that you giving them.
And that's what I realized because I have a friend, not gonna name them names, but. Not you, Kiana.
Oh, I know.
But friend that, if I give her a certain energy, I don't get that certain back. But that's why
it's not your friend. That's your associate.
You're right. So I'm
and like people be so loose on their friend word. Like
you gotta be loyal
baby,
to
look,
these.
You're my associate. I have a few select friends. Like friends to me is not like somebody I call about mess. Like, oh, you see what she did on Facebook? I'm not that type. Like, I don't want no friend like that. Because eventually, like, that's all y'all gonna talk about. I need somebody who I can be like, girl, what you trying to do with your life? Like, oh, well, let me help you with this.
Business idea.
Yeah, or it don't even, like, whatever. Like, you trying to prosper. Like,
growth.
And that's the thing that me and Kiana, when we first met.
Girl, look, this ain't about Kiana.
When me and you first met.
Segment is my segment.
All about Kiana.
No, one thing. I mean, even with me and you.
Next topic, jealousy.
Next caller.
I told Kiana the same thing though. Like when I met you, and I met the other girl. When I met and I met the other girls, like those are people that you and the other girls are people that I can feel myself growing with as a woman.
Yeah.
Like I can talk to you and we're like you said, like-minded. I can talk to you about women things and y'all not gonna judge me, but steer me in the right direction and not condemn me.
It's just like when you get to a certain point in your life, like how niggas say like they get tired of hoes they get tired of being a hoe at a certain point in their life. That's how it is with like females. Like, like you get tired of mess. Like you get tired of
Hey, somebody
oh, tell us more.
Yes, explain, man.
Okay, well, since we talking about like-minded, did y'all see what B. Simone said? How y'all feel about that?
I agree.
But she said it wrong.
How she said it.
She said
no,
it
that's the thing with people. We feel like we supposed. No, if you understand, you understand. Just like I say, when you working at McDonald's, if you got a nigga that work at Burger King, you ain't tripping about that. Right. But if you a CEO, you don't want no nigga working. You gotta go with your level because that's just like how they say birds of a feather flock together. That's the same thing. So if my friend is a bum or whatever like that, and I'm a CEO, ain't no way, and that's my real friend, ain't no way she ain't supposed to be up there with me, or she's still supposed to be at a low level.
That's like Super put all her people on.
Yeah, and all her people do something. She don't just get them bread. Like, all her people do something. Like, her best friend got a boutique. Like, you know, everybody do something. It ain't nothing wrong with helping your people out, but you gotta want it too. Like, ain't no, I don't want no, if I'm an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, I don't want no, and I'm getting money.
I don't want to be around nobody that's still
I don't want to be around nobody. And it ain't even, because sometimes you got to meet people where they at. But I'm saying some people just have that mindset. They stuck there. Like, they don't want to.
This is what I'm saying. She just said it wrong. She wants a
worded
entrepreneur
it very
mindset.
Yeah.
Now, if she just wants an entrepreneur, that's one thing. She wants somebody who's already established. Say that. She said, I want a CEO. Yes, I want someone who has a CEO mindset.
Right.
Like, having a 9 to 5 is one thing. She just don't want you stuck on that. She wants you to understand why I am a CEO, why I'm doing this. Like, if you chasing for something and still working, like, I believe that's okay. But you're chasing for something, because everybody can't just jump off the porch and just say,
everybody don't go to CEO. Some people start 9 to 5.
She don't want a nigga with a slave mentality.
That's
what somebody said.
It wrong.
I mean, and she
didn't say it wrong. If you understand, you understand. Period. Like, people want you to put it in the simplest terms. No, your mind ain't even on that status, because if you don't understand what I'm saying, then shit, that's on you. Everybody not ready for your growth. Everybody not ready for where you going at in life. That's why people fall out with their friends and they say, oh, money changed you. No, money ain't changed me. I'm supposed to change with my environment, because why would I still be acting like I'm from the hood when I'm in $1 million estate? Like, that don't make sense. Like, you gotta know how to be diverse. You know, it ain't nothing with faking it, but you gotta know how to act. Like,
hey, what you mean ain't nothing with faking it? You faking with everything else. Yes, it is.
Right. I'm saying, like,
this is society. You have to survive in a system. When the police pull me over, I got to fake it till I make it, because I got to get out there. I don't care what you say. That's faking it. Everything they do is faking it. Every application they fill out, they say they know how to do something, and they don't know how to do.
That's
fake. Like,
they best friend buddy got them on the job.
Come on, man.
But I mean, relationship is about, you know, you having to relate with someone. I can't relate with someone that's working overnight if I don't work overnight. Like,
right.
You know, if I work,
how y'all gonna spend time together? Like,
how am I gonna talk to you about what I'm going through, and you can't even relate to what I'm going through? And that's what she was saying. Like, how am I gonna relate with a 9 to 5 job if I don't have to clock in and out?
Right. I'm up at 3 in the morning and he sleep because he gotta go to work. Like, I want him up with me, motivating me motivating him. So
we have the same mindset. That people just don't want to speak out about it. And she just honest and she wants to speak out about it.
That's the thing about it. It's just like everybody thinking, but don't nobody want to say it because of their position.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't even really follow her like that.
Think like that though. Everybody don't have that mindset. Some of these, most of those women who commented, I guarantee you are 9 to 5ers.
That's her preference though. Like, even if she did say like she don't want her man with a 9 to 5, she don't like that. That's her preference. Like, that's her opinion. She's entitled to what she wants.
And that's just like people saying, oh, I don't like dark skinned girls, I don't like tall girls, I don't like this, that, and the other. It's just a preference, because some people get hyped from you being the money maker or the overseer, or you know what I'm saying, the one who bringing home the bacon, and people under you, like, because you want somebody to feel like you need them, they need you. So some people get hyped behind it. Like, I want me and my nigga on the same page, because guess what, that's just like 2 incomes is better than one. So I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like, we both gotta be doing, we don't gotta be working on the same project, but you have your mind where you at, and I'm gonna make sure you good, and vice versa. Like,
that's like what Iman said about him and Tiana Taylor. Like, they give each other space to grow. So when you come home at the end of the day, we got something to talk about. We not so up under each other. We don't. What are you doing today? No, go to work. You have your day. When we come home, we gonna reflect on our day. How did this go? How did that go? You know, and so forth. They give you time to grow, and it gives you something to look forward to too at the end of the day. Because that's what me and my man do.
So ain't that the same thing we were saying on the podcast the other day? Sometimes you have to understand that your dreams.
He said, put your relationship on the back burner. That's not putting your relationship on the back burner.
But you just put your dreams. That's all they're saying. They have to put.
It's a balance. That's what they're saying.
Yes. So your significant other has to contribute to your dream. If they don't contribute to that, then they don't need to be in that picture.
Right, but
there's no back burner.
Exactly.
It has to be intertwined, because if it's not intertwined, then that means that person is in your way.
You putting your spouse or your partner on the back burner. It's like, okay, fuck what you got going going on. I'm trying to elevate
Yes,
myself.
that's how I think about
like,
when you say
selfish.
back burner. Like,
yeah,
if you cannot run your own business and still make time for me, then something ain't right, because there's no way that you should have to run your own business.
Y'all think y'all hearing it and y'all assuming I'm saying like
sorry.
there's
Okay,
no
well, you
communication.
just said it wrong,
Like,
just how you said it.
like,
Okay, stand on what you say. Hold on.
And exactly what I said was sometimes you have to understand that your relationship is going to be put on the back burner. I'm not saying there's not going to be no communication. Nobody's not going to make time for you. But sometimes we have to understand that there's moments in our career where we are growing. And
But
when
that's
you are
when
growing,
communication come into play.
Correct.
Like, you tell me that you got a lot going on, and I'm gonna know to back off and give you your time.
So all I'm saying is that the statement is correct.
It's all
right?
Okay.
We agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. That's all one plank talk.
But see, the problem becomes that some men don't know how to balance that.
True.
It's one or the other.
Or communicated.
Yes, that's what I was
Or
saying.
just communicated.
You have to be at that mature mindset to understand that, your woman is part of your dream.
Right.
Correct.
We're not trying to take away from you just because we said we need more time or whatever like that. Because like I said, when you become a CEO and you get that big house, you get that nice car, you ain't got nobody to come home to because you pushed out everybody. That's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Because you should be a money magnet. Anytime money getting printed, you should touch something. Okay. That's how I feel. It don't matter what I'm doing in my life. As long as money being printed, I'm gonna get some money.
Okay.
So
doing costs.
Right. So with that being said, it's just like you shouldn't have to put nothing on. You should be able to don't never put none in your life or be a part of something in your life that you got to cut off another part of your life that means something to you. No. Like, that's how I feel.
Because half the time, I feel like men don't like to say this, but women are the reason why they do a lot of stuff that they do. Like, we plant a lot of seeds, but I'm not saying y'all, but a lot of men like to take credit. They like to take credit, like I did this. Yeah. Baby, you did not. Because if it wasn't for me telling you to wake up this morning, you would not be able for this interview. Or if it were not telling you, like, post this video, you wouldn't be the YouTube star.
They have men out there too that does the same. It can go both ways. You have men that can do the same thing and push and tell their spouse or their lady, hey, get up, do this.
Get up and wash the dishes.
It's an even.
Get up and clean the house. Get up and cook. Like, what? Hey, but look though, what it's like being with a lazy man? Like, for real, can you just
see, I've done that before. I don't think I ever. Yes, I've done that, but I ain't never had no man who just didn't work.
Like, what's
but it was like a lazy man to me is just like feeling like when you go to work or you always late for some interviews. Like, oh, ain't no nigga driving mine. I don't care if I got a hoopty-doopty, bitch. I can bring you, but I ain't going to bring. Because, see, men...
Smoke, you need your car.
Okay, you gotta go get a rental. Like, I like a man that, like, if you don't got something, like, it's cool to not just say if you don't have a car. That's cool because if you trying to work to go get it, I can work with that, but if you cool with not having a car, you got to bum a ride from everybody, and you spending money on Ubers. The money you spending on Ubers, baby, you could be saving that and getting your car. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, I feel like men are so complacent, more complacent than women because they raised by their mama in single parent homes, and their mama do every single thing for them, so they feel like
not necessarily.
I mean, the problem is that some women are what's the word?
They
enablers.
Yeah, but look, that too, but not necessarily. Like, society for a man, I don't know if y'all understand, it's really hard.
I understand.
It's hard for women too.
Understand to a certain extent.
From a
it's
job,
hard for. It's more harder for women because
not from working. Working,
Let me tell y'all something.
I think so because women have this type of stigma where we're supposed to be in the house, have babies,
that's
and
what
that's
I'm saying.
it.
But look though, but when it comes to getting employment, like outside in society,
I feel
you guys have
way
better than
I feel like a black man will become a CEO before a black woman. Like,
because they feel like a black woman is too emotional. We cannot contain our emotions. We go do stuff that's outside of the job. Like, black men are more prone to get a job because they are strong.
The reason why we say this because it would be harder for a man because already y'all coming in with looks. So sometimes men in CEO in certain positions ain't going off.
They don't want that because they feel like
they got something that do. That's they do.
That be the women that use they
look, y'all talking CEOs, this college, you talk about after college, I'm talking about the beat down of a man before he get to where that is even talking about. And majority of men don't even go to college because their financial option is not available. Imagine
like Meek Mill just said,
you can go and get a job anywhere as a female dang near at 16. Like,
okay, so look,
and make some decent money.
That's understandable, but go ahead.
Okay, so Ash said it's way easier for a man than it is for a woman. Did he say, nah, niggas don't be wanting to stop smoking weed? Plant hiring all day. A man with no experience will be given a position before a female with experience.
She said plant. How old you gotta be to touch a plant? Like, my mama been struggling like I was out of school, like we missing lights off all this, man. I'm 13, 14, 15 years old. What's up?
You talking about plant? You gotta get a certificate to be in there.
No.
But the thing about the women is that when they hire us, they're not hiring us because of our
they
expertise.
Want something from us. Like if you get hired, especially if you're an attractive woman. Okay, but understand this. You probably could get the job because you're attractive, but once that CEO try to come on to you and you don't mess with that, baby, now you're getting write-ups every day and all that. So you no longer have that job because you can't go in. You know they said, you can come and file a sexual harassment. That's getting thrown out. You gonna get blamed for that. So with that being said, it's way harder for a man. Like I feel like it's a man's world.
For females, happens once every blue moon when the CEO actually proceeds with it.
No,
and then you still had the opportunity of the job. You can get fired, go get hired at another job where that don't happen because you may be working for a woman. Even as a black man, they won't hire me because of the way I look from jump. If your haircut ain't low, have you ever went to try and get a job with an afro? As a black man,
I had
dread, whatever. Like if your haircut ain't neat, I'm sorry.
I got written up because my dress was too tight because they said I was shapely. Baby, I got a fat ass. If I put some baggy pants on,
it's still show.
Look at the president of the United States. They rather hire Donald Trump just because they're not ready. The United States is not ready for a woman to be in power. And they rather be so wrong before they're right.
Yes, they strip women of their power because we are too emotional. Yeah. We are too much of this. It's always we're too much of something and we're not enough. Like that's the thing. Like I mean, we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
No, I do agree, but y'all talking about
I understand what you're saying though.
Position. We talking about on a lower position before that. They use you all as value to keep they employ women like that. That is the minority check by state. For real, look, the state gives money to different sections of people. The minority percentage that they get for black males is less than what they give black women. Y'all are offered a higher percentage and whatever than us.
Guess why?
Because that's society.
We do whatever we can to get the
but
check
they
so we can
want us to
they want to keep the black man down.
Because if we can't get in that position, we cannot provide. That's why they hustling. That's why they selling drugs. Because where else they go to make money? Then if you get in trouble and go to jail as a black man, where you getting the job at other than the plant? Where?
You have nowhere to go.
And they better hire you. Like you not going. If you get tattoos, like where you going to get a job as a black male? Like
that's period. That's not it's gender rules. Like it's not as far as gender. That's period. And we walk in there with a color hair, they is not gonna hire us. And you can walk up in there with long nails, like they is not. They gonna feel like
a black man got it 10 times worse.
You have an option with that. Watch this. My hair. You telling me I got to keep my hair cut?
I do know about locks.
You can have locks. You can have this. You can have that. You can't do color. You can take your nails off and be fine. Tattoos is one of the only ways we can express ourselves physically. You can be in there with sleeves on your legs, your arms, and with Dixie at the register. Like, if I got a gun or something, anything on my arms, like they scared. No. sure. It is not.
I don't want to motherfucker
I
like
get
gun working for my business, baby. You got to go in.
I mean, I just don't feel like men have it worse. Period. Like I just feel like that's.
I feel like
We
it's
do.
to a certain extent.
Even at this
We
time,
do.
even back in the day, if you look at the like voting rights, they gave black men voting rights before
Right.
they gave back women.
We're
voting.
still getting treated
Women
like
in
shit.
general.
You
Because we
you
were
said
women.
that- you said that.
We were looked at as property.
Right.
We're
and we
still
were
looked
looked
at as
at
property.
as you supposed to be at
But it's
home,
kept you still
cooking,
property.
cleaning,
You still property.
caring for the kids.
Having
Like that's
10
your
children.
role.
You still property.
And
So
a lot of
that's
our
what the
parents
kingdom
even
you
have
got,
that
that's
type of
property.
mindset, like when you get married, have kids. Well, what if I don't want to have kids? What if I want to be an entrepreneur? What if I want to do this? What if I don't want to have children right now?
Right.
But the only thing our parents are thinking about, some parents, not all, like when you gonna have kids? What if I want to create a whole business? What if I never want to have kids? What about
And
that?
you can do that very successfully.
But it's not even that easy. Even some women on Twitter, they said that they were trying to get a hysterectomy and they couldn't get one because they said that the male gynecologist said that they wouldn't do that because we might change our mind.
All
What
right,
if we
now-
don't want to change our mind?
We kind of separated from.
I'm just saying, like,
Nah,
but
we
it's
talk
like,
about
Just in general,
Just-
like I
yeah,
said.
now they do got it's kind of toe up with the rules and regulations with how they treat women. Yeah, but we just talking about from a financial,
That's
just a rejection with society, and even as a woman, if you start your business and you go up to anybody, like you're most likely to sell it than me.
if I was educated, but if I don't have no
What?
bachelor's,
Hey, no,
if
no,
I don't have no bachelor's,
You don't have to add. You
You
have
have
to
to
be
be
educated for that.
All you got to do is be
Are you-
pretty.
so
Not
listen,
even- you
someone
have to-
will
no
be
time
more
for
than
people
willing to hire a black male because they know they can put you to work. Me, if I don't have nothing but a
Yeah.
high school diploma, I don't do nothing. I can't do anything. I don't have anything, any
that
value
is
for
not-
myself.
No,
But he
But
said
it's
start
not
your
true.
business.
Not
That
true.
is
That's
not
not
true.
true.
That is
That's
not
not
true.
true.
That is
If we
true.
I
post,
think it is
no,
true.
if we post, watch this with this same, watch the talk
They
shows.
said no.
Talk
You're a
shows
liar.
is a face value type of thing. You got way more women talk show hosts than they got men. Why? Because don't nobody want to sit and listen to no man talk.
It depends
Like,
on what.
you
no,
was
No,
No, you got
Listen,
Dr. Phil,
listen,
you got
as a
Marty
whole-
Harvey, you got Steve Harvey, you got
Oh,
Jerry
oh, now we're
Springer,
talking
you
about
got
people value
how
a
many
man's
women you got,
opinion
though?
over a woman's.
Okay,
Hey,
now
just-
that's
listen to what I said. How many women you got though?
people value men who know how to
a dominant,
speak,
yes.
men who are educated, men who I'm not saying school
Right,
education.
so understand
I'm
what
just
you're
saying
saying.
somebody who know you can look. Let me tell you
People who
something.
know
Understand what you're saying?
real
though.
life
Listen to what you're saying.
experiences.
A man who knows that, who have that. Most
Look at
men
Steve-
don't have
Steve
that.
Harvey
Watch
had
this though.
7 wives.
Watch this though. Watch this though.
And people
Look,
still
look,
listen to what he
look. A
said.
man has to have that. A woman don't.
A woman can't get on nowhere just talking about random crazy stuff with
They
no.
do it every day on your TV. You watch it for like they
TV?
get paid for it every day. Like that's doing
You
whatever
only
you
know-
do.
you only know-
Everything.
You go on social media and talk for
There's
me.
only
Women
one
get paid for everything.
prominent woman, all woman show, and that's which one is that?
Basketball wives or something.
No. It's a permanent, like a prominent talk
Yeah,
show.
the view.
The
View.
Oh,
talk,
The
the view.
The View.
That's
Oh,
the
the
only.
real.
The real.
Yeah.
That's only the one that's the most diverse and it's all women. Other than that, there's a man behind that. There's a man behind that. Steve
Yeah.
Harvey show is
That's
a man behind
fine.
Dr. Phil. That's a man behind that. Maury, there's a man behind that.
You notice what you're saying? Even when
Judge
it's
Mathis
women, there's
here.
a man behind it, but they put a woman in front of it to
That's
stand.
all men
That's
shows.
what they do.
Men shows.
Dr. Phil.
But this is what I'm saying. You're
Yeah.
naming the men shows. Google it. How many
Okay,
men talk
so-
show hosts they got compared to women?
Aaron said women can get in a job in any field they want just off looks, minor
Yes.
education, simply knowing people and using their mouthpiece.
Exactly.
Women run the independent society right now. Okay,
Girls do
Transplain
run the
it, it's
world.
harder for me.
Now,
it's not harder for men. But I agree that we can get a job off of looks. I'm not saying that that's not the case because psychology tells us that even like just said, and we was just talking about this, you can go to court and whoever look better, unconsciously, they are going to take the side of the person because looks rule everything. Like you just, if you look good, you automatically got something to say. Like you know what I'm saying? You
I'm just
automatically
good
right or whatever. Well, you better go dapper down.
all right, now
So,
we
but
go to
back to
it
my-
look good. If you got a man that look good, you rate him a 10, and a woman that look good, and you rate her a 10, both of them are black, who they gonna pick first?
the
The
man.
one who's
The woman.
Goddamn,
Boy,
you was a goddamn.
Oh, y'all
liar.
happy on this
You was a
podcast.
No,
liar.
let me tell you
I
why.
know you lied.
The man, because for some reason, some type of men have this
Territorial.
Yeah, that territorial view. Like a man can understand another man. Even today when I got my air conditioner fixed, he shook my boyfriend's hand, but he did not shake my hand.
It's like going to the mechanic, girl. If you a girl,
Oh yes, that's a good
They will
one.
talk to a man.
It's like a man have this dominance.
Y'all just stop talking.
Males have this dominance, and they feel like that's why I say it's harder for women because okay, let's just say what Aaron said. It was true. I'm not going against that, but what I'm saying is okay, we are more prone to get the job off of looks, fat ass, nice shape. Okay, cool. But the things we have to do to keep that job is we have to fuck somebody in order to move up because we're not educated. They don't worry about the education. They are not worried about the education because they hide you off of looks. Not about what your background says. Not about what your what it is. Resume says. They're not hiring you off of that. They hiring you because baby, when you go in there, you talk to them, they here, blah 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 blah. They just worrying about how you look. They going so they hire you off of that. So whenever you have the tools, you have the mind, you have the education, everything to move up. If you do not be in intercourse with that person at all, who's ever over you will not get to that higher position. You wonder why you in the same position that you was 5 years ago, and you're not getting raised. The only reason
that's your fault.
Hey, but look though, pause. No, I ain't saying that. Hold on.
Let me say my point.
Before that, you proving my point. Y'all have a chance to make a financial, like y'all at least get there. Y'all may get rejected from the next step. That is may be true. Hey,
okay,
I give you
I
that.
get what you're
I'll let
saying.
Harvey have that.
No,
but we got to go.
I'm just
hustle.
saying.
No, but the whole thing though, when y'all get that job, y'all be at the job for 5 plus 10 plus years because y'all not even expected to do none of that. Like what sexual
we gotta sacrifice
over
our
here.
dignity. We gotta sacrifice our dignity
And
in order to get to the next step.
out of 10 men, 2 of them get the job. Out of 10 women, 7 of y'all get the job.
Wait. When 2 of them get the job, y'all good.
But
when we get in, we still gotta do more and more.
You're talking about 2 out of 10. That's 20% of 100 compared to 70% of 100. Like,
that's
listen
true.
to what I'm saying.
But that
like,
70%, that 2%, that 20% is more likely to succeed. That 70% is gonna quit or get fired.
It's gonna roll over.
But y'all know. Oh man.
So I get what you say.
But the thing is, about 4 or 5 years, that's a
do you
choice
not
to
understand the value?
So
the value in that first step.
Like, we agree, but it's like what,
yes, you
what
have
do you have to
you
give
have to
more than what we
that.
have to give? We have to give something personal. Y'all, once y'all in there, y'all don't have to give. Y'all,
it might
like,
be
I
a little
ain't even
harder.
explaining to that side because we still on this first point. I just want y'all to see
how
valuable
another
that
talk.
first step is.
What?
That first step, like. If we can't get a job, look at what the society puts us to. If we can't get a job based off of what we look like from jump or how we talk from jump, which we are not provided the correct way majority of the time, we are resulted into something to provide an income. When you are making steady income and trying to go to school, trying to do something to provide yourself.
That's a choice.
Hold up. What other option do you have when you don't know?
But see, that's a choice of pride as a man.
No. Before pride, what option do you have?
McDonald's. Listen. No, I'm just saying because y'all have a choice between sell drugs and do whatever to get money versus going to a legitimate job and just getting paid a little bit less. But people want easy, like, instant gratification money as a man. You want that money right now, but you don't want to do it legally. You can do it legally, but you don't choose not to.
Excuse me, love.
Some people choose not to.
I need you to understand that the cycle that we talking about of being hired goes all the way down to McDonald's. You guys get hired first. Majority
because
of
y'all
us,
don't try for those jobs.
That is a
they want easy money.
is a lie.
I
You know how
guarantee
many
you
girls fill out these boss applications and they cannot get hired? If you got in a fight and went to jail, I had brothers that got in a fight and went to jail and couldn't get a job at a regular, like, because they went to jail for a fighting. Women go to jail for a fighting too, and that don't affect you at all because you are a woman. They look at us as aggressive. Y'all not understanding.
Okay, so look,
McDonald's is the first step.
I don't agree. You do not have to have sex with a boss to get up. Now in entertainment, maybe, but not all jobs. Okay, so
come on,
nothing because look,
understand this.
Understand this. We are talking about our experience. So you might not have, but how many many times have you ever heard
even
somebody
in the
say,
movie.
"Oh, she only got up because she fucked the boss"? Because that's normal. That's what you do.
Look,
So okay, I'm going to give an example. Like in the plant. Okay, but I'm going to let you go. So in the plant, we get hired on in the plant. You all, like, say if we just fire watch, hold watch, because that's what most people start off, especially women. Okay, so, right, entry level, you fire watch, hold watch in the plant. Okay, cool. So the person over you, your foreman or your supervisor is, over you. So in order for you to go to that next job, you have to talk to that person in some kind of way. You have to go for drinks after. You have to do something. If you don't know nobody that can get you on the next job, everybody want to make that fast money, that that turnaround money. So you want to get on. You go do what you got to do. That's what I'm saying. Because you are a woman, in which we all agree we get hired off for looks. So that's what they're going to keep you on. If you're not steadily giving that, then you are going to get fired. So like I said, you don't necessarily have to fuck, but you're going to
wait, because I didn't work with women in the field of me driving trucks.
Since we're talking about opinions,
I'm a truck driver. If you had the private work ethics, there's no need for that person.
They do not do that. I know plenty of women. The ones that are doing that is because they want to do that. And you hear those stories because they offered that to get to that position because they don't have a work ethic. The ones who work get those positions all the time.
The women that do it, they do it because they want to do it.
And they don't have a work ethic.
That don't mean the men don't ask. Just because I don't want to do it,
they still ask, but that don't keep you from the position because those women are in those positions more than us. I see them there. Like, this is... Come on, man.
Okay, so Aaron says supervisors will only keep a man in work as long as he can keep using him. That'll be the only way a man keeps a long-term job, especially for a black man. As a black man, I had to cut my dress because I look more intimidating. I get harassed more, treated like a criminal, tries to get put over.
Come on, man.
Pulled over.
Tries to get put off jobs set up by supervisors to lose the job.
Okay, I can agree with that. Cause
hating on you when you are good at something. If you do get the job and you good, oh man, and you got a man above you, you is not getting to the next level. When you good, they gonna run you out.
I can agree with that, and I'm only saying that because Dale is the only black man on his job. They hired, mind you, Dale been at this job for 3 years. They hired somebody a couple of months ago, and he's already above Cardell. No experience, has never done nothing, but because he's black, and y'all know Dale got hair on his face, he ain't had a haircut in forever, so... You know, it's
the
hard.
hardest worker there, the best worker there, probably get the best sales, always at work on time. That don't mean
that's
nothing,
the way
man.
of the world. That's white
that don't mean nothing. A woman can go apply for a position there, and they'll let her be a manager before they have her out there changing the tires what they'll let because he a man. He can handle that.
I was working with a gas company at 20 years old.
Dale can't be late.
He's
the only black man there, so they really pick with him. So I agree. I
know. I was 20 years old at the gas company. I had dreads. I was doing meter reading 6 years. I did 6 years had dreads. I was at a job, entry level job, meter reader. 6 months after that, I went to construction. Youngest one there, I'm ready to get it. As soon as I move in, they watching me. As soon as I do something wrong, they ready to go run. I didn't have it happen to me.
But that's not gender. That's based off of your color.
Then think about this though. What if the dude ain't into construction? Like, why is that the only field that we have to take?
I'm just speaking on what I know of. I'm just saying. Okay, so Shakita said, maybe I'm different because I'll get a degree before I degrade myself. Correct. I'm not saying that we actually have sex.
I ain't never
personally, like I told him, like, when I go to work, I don't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get treated the best because I'm pretty or, they like my, whatever the case may be, I'm cool, whatever. But I know one thing. Once I have an attitude or, just say if like I'm not that type of person.
Bad day or something.
Right, like, they gonna be like, oh, well, she ain't, like, they just how y'all get the same type of treatment. I'm not saying that you fuck for your position because I've been in really high positions, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's time. I didn't got fired from a job because I was the only black one now. I was a woman, and they feel like I shouldn't be in that position just because I was a woman.
Or they feel like they could talk to you a certain way.
It was an all white. I mean, it was an all male company. Yeah, it was white, but I know I got fired because they fired me before they even knew what I knew. I got there, I was fired before lunchtime, didn't do nothing wrong, did nothing. Like, they were still showing me around the plane. They said I wasn't competent enough for the job. Why? Because I'm a black female. Mm-hmm. They thought I was a male because of my name. People misinterpret my name for Kevin. So when I came there, they looked, they like, oh, you Kevin? I'm like, it's Kevin, but yes. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have it way, I feel like, in my opinion, mind you, Everybody got different opinions, and this is what it's all about. That's why
Right.
we have
That's
a
why
podcast.
we're here. Yep.
So it's not like women, even women who have sex to get to the higher position, they ain't doing it because they want to. Them people probably sleeping on somebody's floor. They probably sleeping on somebody's floor with 4 kids, don't have nothing, and they need the money. Like
They
people,
do
that's
have
just
Now,
like
hey, now
The
that
problem
is
is-
some situations.
That
The problem is
Majority
that
of those situations, though, they want to do that.
well, the reason why they want to do that is because they're doing it for their family.
Right.
They're doing it because they know that that's
All
what they
women
know
are
that
not like
that's
down
what they
to
have
degrade
offer.
themselves. You know how I feel. I can only imagine how I feel because I done been with somebody who, if I go on a date and you trying to have sex with me, I instantly feel degraded. Like, why you feel like you can fuck me?
Just
So
to be
imagine
women.
if you actually go through with it because you need something. Do you think people want to degrade themselves? Do you think people want to have sex for money because so they can feed their
Most
children?
definitely not. Most
My
definitely
point.
not.
Most-
Exactly
but
what
it's
I'm
like
saying
most
with, I
prostitutes
want y'all to understand,
are
most
doing it
men
because
don't
they
want to
have
do just
to.
about
But at the end of the day, and that's true, at the end of the day, bro, you have a choice to lay down. You want to actually lay down, you lay it down because you want to lay down. Now, you could have
Okay.
went somewhere else and found the job and had
You
it
could.
down.
No.
It's a
But
choice.
yeah, well, let's
We don't
do it.
have a choice. You actually have a
Okay,
choice.
so Aaron said them dudes telling the truth. If these supervisors see how fast you can learn something, they fear you. Think you go take their position or some
I
lame
got
shit like
all
that.
of it.
They always want to see if you're willing to sell somebody out just to work your way up though.
I ain't
What's
trying to
really
go out.
bad is they love to test your patience and see how pissed off
Oh,
all
yeah,
women
they want you to
get
react.
just to get you off the job.
Man,
That's
they'll call
why
you all
women
type of
gotta
stupid
ease out
stuff.
your.
That's why I
Okay,
quit my
Aaron.
job.
See, Aaron,
Oh.
I like how you word
He
it.
put
If you
that
put
good,
it like
yes.
that, then
He
yes.
put that good, yes.
Men do, like, you know what I'm saying, black people, because we're
Yeah.
temperamental. Like, you know what I'm saying, we have a temper or we're aggressive. You can go say, man, chill out with all that playing. I don't feel like playing today. And the white person can say, hey, dude, fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
gonna look at it as way worse.
Right.
Hey, dude, fuck
We
off.
don't need- look, that's the hey, bro. That's the next
the
step.
next step.
That's actually
Alright.
when
But no,
you
honestly,
do get hired.
That's the
You
reason
feel what I'm
why.
saying?
That's the reason why I actually came to Louisiana, because I used to work for another competitor, and it was a male industry. They were all males, and they were in time of leadership. And guess what happened? They were talking to me disrespectful, and instead of, they wanted me to react, and they wanted me to be ghetto. They wanted me to be turned up to them, and instead, what I did is try to have a conversation with them. But they didn't. They kept talking down to me. They told me that I was a kid. They told me that they were talking to
No,
me.
not a child.
Yes, they
Stay
told me
in
that
a
I was.
child's place,
And then they tried
okay?
to try to raise their voice and said, "I don't like your tone, how you're speaking with me." But I was speaking to them just like this. But what I did instead of turning up on them, I just quit my job before they fired me, and that's how I got to Louisiana, because I wanted to be where a company where you don't talk to me down like that, and you thought just because you're a man.
So where are you from?
And he was a black man. I'm from Georgia, y'all. I'm from Georgia.
Georgia?
And Atlanta.
Georgia?
And they just thought it was a white man, it was a black man. They were all in power. They were my leadership, they were over me. And I tried to talk to them because I was there longer, I was at the company longer than they were. However, they thought that because they were men and that they were important to leadership, that they could talk down to me. So
They were dominant.
They were down to me. So what I did is that I just removed my. So they were preparing me to fire me because they told me they gave me a warning because I had a conversation that I disagreed with the supervisor, and I went ahead and just took myself and I removed myself and I looked for another job before I quit, and I found myself in Louisiana, and I just went ahead and just moved
But I'm
here.
gonna tell you this. I don't give a damn which state you're going, because it's gonna be an asshole on the
Of
job
course,
somewhere.
of course.
Georgia, Atlanta, whatever,
course.
it's gonna be.
It's not statewide, but
You know what I'm saying?
it's a male and female thing. It was a black male that was my supervisor, and he thought because he was a black male, he was there for 6 months. I was there for 3 years with the company. He just thought that he was a black male, he could tell me what to do, and then I was gonna back down. But it's not. If it's not right, I'm gonna stand for
See,
what's
on white
right.
folks though, on the job I was at the gas company, they didn't like that. I had a voice. They wanted you to be a yes
I
man.
was gonna say that.
Masculinity,
But
see,
see,
but
but
masculinity
I'm not a yes man.
issues. They were insecure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. It's definitely pride.
Y'all know how many times we get like as a black male, like you have to watch your tone. Like the words you use. You know how many times we are charged as that, like just on a daily
Oh, it's just
society.
confrontational.
As black people, I feel like we're
That's
just.
black
As
people.
black people
Yeah.
all together.
Because it's a black woman,
They
they just
feel
think that
like
we're
our
argument.
culture
They always
is
think that
just
we're all
argumentative.
we're angry black women.
Like that's
All of us are just angry
wanna
black
be-
women.
Cause they'll
You
tell me
said
all the
that, I
time
thought
I'm
about that topic,
confrontational,
like-
but I don't think I am.
Okay, so Aaron said, check this out. I'm no longer in New Orleans. I reside in OKC now. And this is a right to work state, meaning they don't need to have a reason to fire you. Ask how many jobs I've had since I've been here.
A lot of jobs have a right to fire state. They don't have to tell you why they fired you.
Yep.
Right.
Like
And
Georgia's
they do it all
one,
the time.
Louisiana's one that they can fire you and they don't have to give you a reason. They fired my boyfriend because he actually told them, came to them and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about moving to Louisiana. What are my options?" And they fired him the next day. He's a black male in a hospital, and they fired him. And he didn't even say that he was gonna quit. He just wanted to know what was his options, and they fired him. And they told him they fired him because of something that happened 6 months ago.
Hey,
You do that.
how many black men on his live, look, tell the truth, used to be scared to pull up in the new whip or really flex on the ones that follow you because you know they gonna fire you. If you work hard and you've been there for a couple of years and you gonna get that dually, pull that dually up to the
Pull it
plate.
at one time. They were trying to
I
cut
give
your
you 2
throat.
weeks.
They had a guy
man.
to work with. He always come
He
to
out
ride the
there.
truck. Whole time, man, had a Porsche how you call it?
Panoramic.
Panoramic.
The big ass Porsche, the big car. Anyway, he pull up and the first thing they mouth drop. He was on off day. You come up with something new, man, on white people job, they trying to cut you.
Everything, I'm telling you,
All
you
the
come
time.
up with that new truck, that new car, anything, it better be a rental. You better say you got in a wreck and you got in a rental and then you bounce back
Right.
with something. Don't just pull up with that and they, oh, how you got that with the, oh, I just went to the lot. And I
That
went
ain't
to
your
the-
bitch.
Okay, so look,
right there.
so y'all
Man,
saying
they
black
gonna raw
men,
you out.
black men have it harder.
Man,
Okay.
they gonna raw you out.
Okay, so do y'all feel like black men as fathers have it harder than black women?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
You say,
Black
you say,
women
you say,
have it harder.
Yeah,
as
black
mo-
women
mothers
have it
have it
harder.
harder.
Black
question
women
again.
have
Ask your
it harder
question.
as
So do
as-
y'all
as
feel like,
parents,
okay,
yeah.
so y'all saying black men, I'm gonna ask the question again. Black men have it harder in society for being black men. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do y'all feel like black fathers have it harder than mothers?
No.
Yes.
No.
On what side
No.
of what stick?
Side.
On what
As
side
a-
of what stick?
no,
As far as being a
if-
parent? No.
A parent.
No.
If I'm
no,
a
because
mama-
that obligation is like, and I hate that they obligate the mama to be a
Yes.
parent. Like,
Cause you can
if
be
I'm
a
in that
part-time
situation,
daddy,
I
but
want
if I'm a
I
part-time
don't want
mama,
to be
I'm
no
all kind of
part-time
bitch
daddy.
clothes.
I want my child.
But I feel like it happens
That's-
both ways because when a black man wants his child,
It's
because
still
it's a
negative.
mother, they can't get their child. Like if they have, like let's say you got arrested back in the day, you try to get custody of your child, they're gonna automatically go off of the mother, and they're not gonna give you custody of that child
Like
because
if
you're a
you
black
go to court,
man.
the mother already come in there with 70%
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
win.
And
So
as a black
let's
man,
talk
you
about
can't
it.
get your
Yeah, let's
child.
talk about it.
I feel like this. I feel like mothers have it way harder than fathers because first of all, the obligation.
Yes.
Ever since you get pregnant, you gotta do everything that right.
Now,
Everything
from
that's
that
right.
perspective, the obligation, yes, y'all
Correct.
have
Okay.
it hard.
And also, if you say, man, look, let's just say my baby daddy. Oh, I got a child, and I say, hey, I'm really not ready to be a parent right now. I need to clear some stuff up. I'm gonna let you keep him
What the
for
fuck
6
wrong
months.
with you? Would you
Oh,
want your
yeah,
baby?
deadbeat. But
The
a
dude
father
gonna
could
look
say,
crazy.
man, look, I got a lot going on. I just need to get away
All
for a
right, take
minute.
that time. Get yourself
Yeah,
together.
Most
but
definitely.
people going to condemn him. Going to commend him on every single thing he do.
Because
Like,
he
oh, well, at
chasing
least
his
he
goals.
trying. At
Because,
least
yeah.
he's trying.
Yeah,
At
most
least he
definitely.
come and get him. People want a daddy. We have to take the bare minimum because fathers aren't fathers no more. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So it's just like if he buy them, if he come get them for Easter, don't say it for the whole year, but he come get them for the holiday. Well, at least he doing that, girl. Because I wish my baby daddy
I
daddy.
think
don't do
I
nothing.
think that's a woman
That's
thing.
most definitely true.
That's back to a gender thing. Because I just feel like women are always held to a certain standard that they
Right.
should always be a mother,
Right.
and you always should want your child because you carried your child for 9
Most
months.
definitely.
I don't have kids, but just seeing my mother go through it with my dad, they want the mom to always be ready, and the man doesn't have to be ready.
Right.
He can just be dealing willy nilly.
And I think that's how it is with us too. Like, just by you saying that, like, I feel like I held my mother to a more higher
Yes.
pedestal because
Yes.
you supposed to be there. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because I think it's just so, we see it so much.
But not
A
as no
single
man, though.
a single mother. How many times have
As
you?
a man,
How many
I hold
times
my
have
dad
you
to a higher
seen?
pedestal.
How many times have
That
you
is true.
seen your mama? Just say your mama is a single parent. You're in a single
Yeah.
parent home, and your mama been there all your life, and your daddy was never there. But you're
Was.
so quick to go to your daddy and give your daddy a chance
Yes.
before you
Yeah.
ask.
Because
If
he
your
was
daddy
never
raised
there,
you,
yeah.
and your mama was a deadbeat,
Well,
you would.
Well, hey, they got black men that do that raw their mama out, they choose the thug, and I never understood that. Like, my biggest fear was going to jail because I knew what it was going to do my mama. Like, I never, that's
because
all
you have a certain
had.
respect
like,
for your mama.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have that respect.
Yes.
Like,
okay, so Aaron said yes,
mama,
black men have it harder because women are just naturally mothers, while men have to figure out how to be a father.
That's not true.
Black men already get
true.
classified as second-class citizens. For example, certain insurance companies have policies to where if a woman is single and she wants Section 8 or WIC, they will have to ask or force her to put her baby daddy on child support. That's
Hold
fucked
on.
up.
One part of it I don't agree.
The first one.
One part of it I don't agree. The first part he said about being hard. Let me tell you something. When you had that baby, the doctor don't tell you shit. You bring that baby home, you learn how to fuck.
But no,
that's what a woman too,
look,
though. I had my baby. I ain't
so
know
I'm
what to
saying,
do.
But if you
right.
go to the root, you are always shown an example. Even if, like, in society, they painted a picture like you never see majority
But you
of the
can
time
see somebody.
father
You
in
can
the-
see.
in
I
the
can
home.
sit here and watch Keeping Bill Mama all day. I still won't know until I have a child.
You don't know, but yet you still have an example. Like, it's just like seeing somebody eat, but you never ate before. When you get in front of it, you done saw it though.
But
like,
that
I
could
can
be for
fake
man
time.
or woman.
But guess what?
But
As
majority
mothers,
of women have some
okay, but you
example.
always have
As a
example.
mama,
You always have an example for the simple fact that even if you have a messed up parent, you still have an example of what not to do because you know how they made you feel. So, for example, to explain a little further in depth, if you have a father that was no longer that was out the picture, you seen your mama struggle, and that hurted you. You know, you love your mama so much. When you get a woman pregnant, you can no longer use that excuse as, well, my dad wasn't there, but you know how that made you feel. So why would you put that on your child?
That's what I'm saying. Some of them feel like they being there and they not being there, and the woman be mad because you really ain't being there, but you being there because they don't know how to really be there.
Men feel like if I'm giving you money to take care of him,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
how my daddy was. My daddy felt like, oh, I'm paying your mama child support. I'm there for you. Like, no,
they don't
you
know
not
what
there.
it actually takes to be a father.
As far as that, because I'm going through child support, I'm about to go to court for it and fight and share. And I know for damn sure I do for my child. It's not just so. I mean, me being put on child support. I mean, it's not gonna stop me from doing what I've been doing since day one. So I mean, at the same time, it's a man's choice. Just because you get now the big amount that I have, then one day say, well, oh, you're granted this, that, A, B, and C, and D. That's all she's getting. Now, when my child is with me and she's staying there a weekend, I'm gonna do my part. But she would have called me to pay for a damn bill, that motherfucker. I'm not paying for it.
I feel like it's all about perception.
You just get,
Because
you get a child support. I feel as
I
though
can grow up with no daddy and a single mama and love my mama to death, and she was always there. But Kiva can grow up with no daddy and no mama and hate her mama, and her mama was still already. It's perception. It's how you perceive it. It's how you see it. How you grew up. I grew up, like I said, my daddy is a pastor. Okay, my daddy and my mama got a divorce. I grew up with a single mama, but I resented my mama because I felt like she drove my daddy away. Most people probably would be like, oh, you know, my daddy left her, so let me be closer to my mama. She needs me. She needs me. I didn't feel like that, you know. So it's all about your perception, how you see it.
Okay, so did he say women gotta hold men accountable? Most of the time, it be their mamas.
True.
Correct. So
they
say men think it's a money thing, but no, you have to spend time with your kids too because kids don't see the money. Kids know who's there and who's not there.
But all the man thinking majority of the time is I gotta get money. If I'm seeing the kid, I ain't gonna get no money, and they make every excuse.
But
you know what I'm saying? But yes, you do. We're not liking that. I'm just saying, like. And I don't agree with none of this stuff. I believe it's a choice. I believe all that. All I'm saying is have some sympathy for these men because of what was built. It was built and it is working. Regardless of what you want to say, regardless of there is no excuse because there's no excuse. You can change yourself.
You're right. And my parents have been married for 34 years. However, my dad was on drugs for the majority of the time that I was a child. And I honestly wish that he wasn't there. I honestly wish that he wasn't there because I seen stuff that I was supposed to see as
right,
a child.
Right.
And now I grew up.
And it made you resent him.
Yeah, and I made me resent him. And guess what? He's paying me. When he asks for money, he gives it to me off of the stuff that he know that he should have did when he was
and
and stuff like that. I'd rather you get yourself as a parent before you even try to be my parent, because now I'm growing up further than what I should. But I should have never saw you stole my bike. You did crack. I should have never seen that shit.
Hey, but look though.
You're gonna be emotional. You should have never. I said, as a child, I'd rather you just go ahead and don't be there and just. I'm gonna make me emotional. But you just do that stuff before I should have never experienced it as a child.
And that's what makes the cycle go over
and over and over again. But
what's a worse tear though? Like I understand what you're
somebody
saying.
just
Like not being there. Like somebody who didn't have that would tell you, like, I would have loved to be able.
And look,
I would
somebody
tell you that honestly.
He just said, I believe an absent parent is better than a toxic parent.
Yes, thank you, because that's exactly what I experienced. I'd rather my dad would have never been present, and then it came back to me when he was together, so he could tell me what he was going through, so I can understand. Versus you stealing my stuff. Because as a child, as a little girl, I don't know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, but you shouldn't be doing it. You stole my bike, and people just think it's funny. Like, you remember the bike? Yes. You stole my bike.
Right,
you stole stuff. Yeah, you hurt me as a parent because you're supposed to be my father, you're supposed to be my protector, and you're stealing from me just so you can get your next high.
And you know what? I feel like this. Like, when I made the podcast about my daddy or whatever, like, people, and I just want to clear this up. It was never that my daddy didn't want me. I didn't want to be a part of his life because I felt like how you said, I didn't see my daddy do a lot of stuff. And I was really young. Like, you know, so I felt like I removed myself. Like, I don't want to be a...
Hating on us, bro.
Ain't that so?
Next call.
Like, I never wanted... I knew that my daddy could never... I never wanted to get my heart in because I knew he could never be the father that
you wanted
my...
him to be.
Yeah, right. So it's just like I knew that he couldn't love me how I wanted him, and he couldn't get me because he was on drugs. And
so why would I put myself to get
right? So it's just like, but now that he's gone, I'm like, shit. You know, at least y'all got to see him. So it's basically like what you saying. Like, yeah, he was there, but I witnessed so much. But it was like he wasn't in my life. But it's just like, well, damn, I'm trying to bargain with myself, like, fuck. But maybe, you know, even if I would have just, you know, but it's just like. You don't know. You saying that now because you had the opposite of it.
Right.
But, like, you know, if he wouldn't have been in your life, you would have said, well, shit, you know, I could have still accepted you. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we really have to look at shit from both sides. So Aaron said, but it's the baby mama holding money on such a high pedestal and having right now expectations. And if you don't meet a woman's needs, she don't see you fit to love her or be a father. It's also
that's not all women.
So yeah, I'm gonna say
it's a vast majority, about 90%.
Majority, even good women still have like
standards.
Protection, financial support, like as like their the top things on that list when it comes to men. Like you cannot lie about that. Majority of women
who wants to be with someone they can't
understandable, most definitely understandable. But I'm just saying, look at what we talking about where society has put the black man compared to y'all standards, and all I'm saying is hard.
But I see,
and it also created a second standard because majority of women start saying I would rather the money, so that's why they start messing with drug dealers and this and that because they have the money, and now most men say I'm gonna do that just to get that. Yeah. Like it twisted the whole thing.
It just
you know what I'm saying?
Like
so it's gonna always be a strong opinion in it from either side. I just want y'all to have some sympathy for them men.
And
like
they
need help.
Most women do have that sympathy, but what we want to do is be protected. We are battered every day when we go to work, when we go to the grocery store, when we go to the gym. The last thing I want to do is come home.
I want to go home somebody harassing.
Hey girl, hey, excuse me, how you doing? I can say I have a husband, and they'll be like, hey, what's up?
You can't have no friends.
But last thing I want to do, I want a man to be able to protect me financially, physically, mentally. I want to come home and be safe. But if you can't do that, I don't have no use for you.
Okay, so Aaron said, which I don't agree with because I just read it, but he said just because a man had a poor relationship with his mother doesn't mean he can't love and treat a woman right. The fair relationship with his mom could be all the motivation he uses to be a better man.
I do not agree with that because I done had a man that couldn't stand. They
They
had a
despise
horrible
women.
relationship with his mama, and he treated me like shit.
And guess what?
Like,
Know this.
horrible.
This is facts. Until you now, say if you have a fair relationship with your mama and you never address that, and you're gonna look for the love that your mother lacked, or you feel like you didn't get in another woman, and well, because we not your mama, so we cannot provide that love. You start
get
despising
mad.
us
Yes.
and really start hating us and really start looking. But if you clean up that relationship, address that, like, man, I ain't like how you wasn't there for me. What was the reason?
Heal that hurt.
Heal that. And then, because know that whatever you have going on in your past that you have not cleared
Two
up.
broke people can't heal each
Let me
other.
say this.
What?
It's either or, because I know some men who didn't have their fathers, their mamas that came out better than the ones with their mamas. Yeah. Some work for the police department right now. Some then went through law school, like they without their mama jail, whatever. But it's either. Now, some of these men do be messed up. But I know, like,
that
one
goes back
that's
to
married
perception.
right now.
Yeah.
Like, never had a mama, but he's married, like, had to live with his homeboy and his mama for this week and this person this week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Never had a mama.
It's an individuality.
Yeah, it's an either
So
or.
I'm a firm
perception.
believer. At one point in your life, you start making decisions for yourself.
Yeah,
If my dad was a drug dealer, my dad was a drug addict, and my mom was a weed head. But I don't do drugs and I don't smoke weed. But at one point in my life, I decided to make that you have to have some type of individuality. If you don't, and you're a follower, that's on you. You know,
right. So that goes to the point of why
That
do we have to have sympathy for men? Because at some age, at some point in your life,
you
have
get
to take
together.
responsibility for your own. Because your mother and your father and what happened in your
That ain't
past
no
longer
excuse.
should.
But
be
as a woman, we can't use. Oh, my daddy wasn't there. We can't use that. Because you still got to be a mama. You still got to get up.
Majority of women have daddy issues because our father was not there.
Yes.
So we do look for what we wish we would have had. And whether you unconsciously do it or consciously do it, either you go get what you like or you go get what your daddy was.
Whatever you suppress unconsciously, you will do. Like, even if you don't know that you're doing it because of this hurt, if you haven't healed, like Kevin said before, if you haven't healed that trauma, you will act out that trauma.
But the thing about it, as an adult, at this point, I'm 25, 26 years old. You don't try to use that when my mom wasn't there. But if your mom wasn't there, you should act differently.
How that made you feel, right?
You're an adult. You need to start taking responsibility. I feel like that's black people in general don't take responsibility of themselves.
This is what I need some of y'all to understand. I really need you to understand. Take your brain out of your head and put it in somebody else's head. You are saying, you are telling somebody that you don't know what they think that they know, and they really don't know. Like, have you ever been in a neighborhood with 20-something-year-old boys that really don't know how to fill out an application?
Yes.
Not because
I've been
they
in a relationship
because
with
they
somebody
really
who
don't
ain't
know
nothing.
That's
how.
different. We're talking about behavior-wise as in a relationship.
This the same thing. We talking about in a relationship. They really don't know. If you don't know something,
if you can tell me what someone did to you, you know. If I can tell you that my mom wasn't there, you know that your mom wasn't there. You say,
acknowledge it. You know how it made you feel.
So do something
different.
different.
Okay, so Aaron said men don't have help to look towards. It's either make it happen or move around. And most times the woman is supposed to be that help. Nowadays she ain't.
Because when majority of our focus is surviving. We have to. Look at what the system has created us to do. Majority of our focus has to be on surviving. So your focus never goes into how to have a healthy relationship, how to like how we never experience it. Like if it's never shown to you, you never experience it until it happens. Like them ones that go through. Look, watch this. The reason why I knew my dog Dale was gonna get married first because he was in longer relationships in high school. That was never me. I was never shown that. My mama ain't never had no boyfriend, no nothing. Like I knew I was good regardless. Like I knew how to cook, clean, do everything in the house. When I jumped off the porch, like I went and did everything myself. I had to want a relationship, like because I knew that this wasn't for me. only because I tried other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And majority of men get lost in trying so much, and once you get tried, you get addicted. That's to anything. I don't care who you are. Flesh is flesh. Whatever you try, if your body like it, you gonna be stuck to it, and you gotta work to get away from it.
So Aaron said, as a woman, can you hold yourself accountable for the flaws you have in a relationship? Is it always his fault?
No.
So,
it's not always his fault. And I can
Yeah.
say this because I'm married. And I hold myself. Oh, yes, baby, I'm married. My husband, bitch, okay?
Okay, you better she can bitch. You better use the title.
But I just say, we hold each other accountable. Like, I know me. I know my temper is very bad. I know that when I do get mad, I throw daggers. And I can, now that we communicate with each other and I've been through these trials and these poor-ass relationships, I knew that, okay, Kiana, you got to watch your tongue. You know, you got to watch how you talk to people. So now I can let my husband leave my household because I can sit back and say, okay, I trust you. Or I know when to speak and I know when not to speak now. Because at one point, you know, my mouth was getting us into conflicts. I wasn't allowing him to be a man. And I think that's a lot of women have a problem with that because we are dominant.
Yeah, I help, yes.
Yes.
I always preach that, bro.
It's
Let
understandable
a man be a man.
that you don't want to help him.
But it's not that.
It's not that.
So would y'all agree that men are taught to suppress their feelings? That's what.
Yes.
Because I'm not married.
Yes, that's why majority
my boyfriend, he's the kind of person that doesn't show feelings. Even if I cry, but he stays on my knees, baby.
What's his sign?
I don't know. He's born September 23rd.
Oh, he's a Virgo, isn't he?
So I try to tell him how I feel, but when he grew up, he told me that his mom told him that men do not cry, men do not show feelings like that, and so it's me. I'm breaking down that barrier right now, like, you know, doing things of that nature. But it's really hard for me because I'm an independent person. My mom was an independent woman because of my dad.
That's me.
So it's really hard for me to give him 100% of, like, you know, be the man in the house, me being in the relationship, because I'm just so used to being, you know, 100%.
I can't say when it's that person, you gonna do it. Like, you ain't gonna
I'm
have
doing
to
it,
think
but
about it. Like,
It's
like
hard.
with Cordell, if he at one point he didn't tell me how he feel, I would have to figure it out. But I would stay there and tell him, sit down there after his day at work. How was your day? How you feeling right now?
We gotta make our own traditions.
It's
a process, but also too, like you said, I don't think I can deal with that because I have abandonment issues. So if I'm showing you, I ain't gonna never really just cry.
But you acknowledge that, you know.
Yeah, right. But I'm not going. Like, I feel like, just say if it's something like if we get into, or if you really hurt me and I get to the point of I'm crying, and you just be like, girl, look, get over. I don't got time for them crocodile tears. Like, essentially, is what you're saying. If you don't show feelings, I can't.
But that's how you perceive that. That's not necessarily how he feels.
Right. That's not how you feel.
So wait. Is that not showing feelings, or can I still, like, it's gonna be alright with the I still ain't show no feelings. I encourage you.
But you
so that's not showing feelings. That's not showing
like, it
feelings.
depends on what you say. Like, for me, when I cry to him, he tells me, like, girl, you doing too much. That right there,
it's pushing your feelings, making you feel like you're unimportant. What you crying for don't matter.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who have time? You need to clean.
But
that's not him showing
his feelings.
I feel like
he's not what's the right word for your feelings? Like, he's not
adapting to my feelings.
Yes, he's not understanding of your
feelings. But that's not my problem. That's his problem. That's my problem, honestly.
But yeah, I don't think that's him not showing feelings. I feel like as a man, if a man show you feelings, that's an action role. Like, he show you, that's action roles. He gonna tell you how he feel. He gonna take you on. He gonna do this. You ain't gonna have to ask for that. Like,
every man not like that.
You're right. And that's a problem.
Every man not like that.
No compassion.
Every man not like that.
Yes, because I've been with a man that shows me 100% compassion. And then I've been with the one I'm with right now, and he just shows me none. But him being on the phone is him being compassionate, because he doesn't have to be on the phone. He could be doing something else.
Right.
But it's just the way you show compassion.
To me, that's
once again,
if I'm crying, you better drop 2 tears.
Compassion.
Not necessarily.
Yes. If I'm crying, your woman should be crying. I mean, if your woman's crying, you should be crying too.
No,
you
don't.
No, I'm not. Compassion is what's taught, though.
It's a difference between being a grown man, being a cream puff.
Think about it.
So listen to this. If your mama cries, cry and you gonna cry too?
No.
I never did.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. The only person that will cry is crying. The only woman that I really, my grandmother could do one day. She cried, I would cry. But
I still would.
Mama, no.
If your mom, so for me, if my mama cried, my daddy cried, I'm gonna cry because that means you really. I am. I'm a
who I was with my mama, I felt like I was the protector. So when she cried,
you gotta show.
I had with no man around me. I felt like I had to do whatever it could to stop my mama from crying. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about where you learn compassion
that was already
from.
built into you. Like,
so
men don't teach them that.
Men don't express what they feel.
Okay,
can't
you
be
very
resolved.
Men don't express.
Suppress and move on. It's not always healthy, but it's better to have your emotions or feelings used against you.
But would you rather
by your partner?
But would you rather lose the love of your life because you don't show compassion?
But this is what I'm saying.
Be that prideful?
But you have to understand why they're
that way. I think it's just something that they don't know how to do.
Exactly.
Like,
your first love
prideful.
is your mom. Majority of black men, mom toughen them up because of society. Like, so understand, like they're already so numb to certain stuff. Especially like if you're put in a a majority of our brain is taught of a value system, which money is above everything. Right. So if he can figure he can make money over love you, like he gonna suppress everything and go make that money.
Right.
Like,
so that's
it's
why
because of what they're taught.
That's why in my past podcasts I've always said, if my son falls, you're not going to tell him, oh, be quiet, you're a boy, and all that, because you are teaching him essentially to suppress his feelings, and you cannot show your weakness because crying or showing your feelings is emotional. It's like you're a man, so it strips you away from your man-like qualities, and that is not right.
That's a problem.
So with that being said, my son would be a man that a daughter does not have to hear from, because you're going to know how he feel, when he feel it. That's what I'm hoping for. That's how I'm raising him to be. So I don't believe, like I said, if you fall, now of course if he just whining, but I'm saying if you really fall off of steps and roll 16 steps and you say, man, get up, man, don't cry. No, he can cry. Like, now you ain't going to cry all day, but you can release those emotions, because essentially if I'm telling you the whole thing, you're suppressing it. And we don't understand that, because like I said, we think that, okay, we're single mama and we gotta, and we gotta teach him how to be a man because he can't go in the world crying, he gonna always get hurt. No, but they have to know that it's okay for them to release those emotions.
Especially someone they love.
Right, and it's just like I said, like with my son, like he's a real boy. Like he go climb fences, climb trees all day at 2 years old. But at that same token, I want you to know, like, I want you to be affectionate. I want you to be able to say, man, I really like you. I really love you. I really, oh, you crying, babe, it's going to be all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? What can I do better?
I can relate to
it.
Like, that's all I want, child.
But see, like
he said two crying people ain't good.
All men,
yes, it is.
But all men,
yes, it
all
is.
men not going to sit there and when you cry, you put a spit in the fall and cry. I'm not.
You don't have to cry, but acknowledge the fact that I'm crying.
I'm saying, but I mean, I'm saying you just said that you want your man to cry when you cry.
I was being dramatic, but like if I'm crying on the phone, tell me, baby, it's gonna be good. I got you. Don't tell me.
That's us what having that script in our head, and when it don't go as planned, how we think it, then it's bad.
So you can't. A lot of times we have an expectation, and we trust that a parent or life has already taught you or equipped you a certain way. When you just have to communicate that.
That's what fuck up a lot of relationships.
Communication, expectation. Like you got to be able to communicate that with. Like, I don't know if nobody ever taught you that, but when I'm hurting, you supposed to.
But see, it comes with tenure. I've been with my man for almost 4 years.
At
this point,
you don't understand.
At this point, you should.
But you also supposed to know his love language.
And not just that, was it ever communicated? Have you ever cried before and he not did anything and you brushed it off?
I cry all the time.
You know what I'm saying? So just imagine that you cried before he not cried or did something and you brushed it off.
So our relationship is that's a different topic. But when a man shows you something, at that point I have an expectation, because if you show me something, I know that you're capable of it. So if I cry and you hold me, I know that you're capable of consoling me. And then going forward, if you don't do that,
but that's not. Understand what you're saying? That's if he's capable.
But you are.
But look,
that's what I'm
saying. He's saying like people that don't know, like people
he may have not known at that time, or in his brain, it may have been not that serious. Like if you don't express that to him, like. He would never think that, oh, baby, I should have, I'm sorry. Like, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
So after y'all argue, do you tell him, like, you know, I love how when you console me.
Like, tell him that.
And my man is a good man. He does do that. After I tell him, it's been 4 years and stuff don't happen overnight. So people think that's happening overnight. No. But we've been together 4 years, and this past 2 years has been a dream. The first 2 years was a mess because I would cry all the time because I'm just emotional. I'm in my feelings because.
Oh, baby, you need.
But it's because when I hate to do the dad thing, but when I wanted to cry for my dad, he wasn't there, or if he was there, he wasn't in his right mind to console me. So but he's done better. Like it doesn't take overnight, but
now look though, watch this. You know where this goes to?
Aaron just made a good comment.
What brother Aaron had to say?
Okay, brother Aaron.
Okay, let's TJ say what he got to say.
Before that though, when that goes to ultimately now. Yes, your man should be there, but you got to go to the mirror. Because you got to be all me. I can't depend on you to be that all the time. Like, that's something that you have to heal within yourself.
And I had to do that to myself because when we communicated, all I knew was physical communication because that's what my dad and my mom did. And I used to, I don't take me to jail now, but I used to hit him. I used to slap him, I used to punch him in the jaw. But that's what he told me. He did tell me. He gave me my keys, and one day he said, "Sweetheart, if you don't stop hitting me, if you don't stop talking to me, I cannot be with you no more." And after that, I did not put my hands on him no more because
telling you how he feels.
Yes, and that's him telling me how he feels.
So you know he's capable of expressing his feelings. So now it's the question like, why are you not expressing?
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is.
I need to understand you. So you emotional. But you abusive?
But see, I used to be with a guy that was abusive. So all I knew was like if I show you my feel, if I show you my abuse, if I show you how I feel,
you can relate to that, right?
Yes.
So look, I need you to understand.
I don't do it no more though.
The same thing with these men though. Just how that was what you was exposed to. That's what you knew. That's what you did. You duplicated it, and it is completely wrong.
But you have an option.
You can't lie.
But you have an option.
You're right, Kevin. You can't lie. You're right.
At this point, you have an option whether you decide to. But when I told you I'm not doing no more, and I showed you that, you have the option to leave me or stay with me. If you decide to stay with me, accept the new me.
Right.
Accept the new me. I have not put my hands on you.
Hey, so listen, understand this. The same grace that you're asking to be extended to you for that, extend that to the man who doesn't know, who's this way, who's lost because of society or something.
All right, TJ. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so Aaron said women want a man who's about his money, aggressive, and takes charge. But then he also has to cry with you, cuddle, watch Grey's Anatomy and shit. Laugh out loud.
Well, Grey's Anatomy, girl.
Now, of course, no woman want.
You gotta know when to be vulnerable.
Want a man that
right.
No woman want a man they run over number one.
Right.
So things you're saying is true. Now I'm not sitting there saying my girl I'm proud with her, but I know how to be aggressive when I need to be, and I know how to be low when I'm supposed to be low.
Yeah, that's
it's your balance.
Compassion.
It's going out for
But the thing about, like I was saying earlier,
you make it sometimes.
Like I was saying earlier, you have the option to leave me if you wanted to. However, you did not decide to because you knew I had potential, just like I knew you had potential. And if I made that change for you, understand that this is the new me. I have not put my hands on you in 2 years. I have not done none of that. You had the option to leave, baby. If you want to go, you could have been. But I changed myself.
You can't expect.
But don't hold that over me.
Don't
hold that over me.
Understand this.
When we get an argument, don't tell me, well, you put your hands on me, but I don't do it now.
But you got to understand this. You got to understand this. Understand this. Let me flip it on you. Flip it past that. No, because look though. You cannot be mad at a man for how long he chooses to heal from his trauma. Because if he was to cheat on you, you go hold that for years.
Hitting you is 2 different things.
No, it is not.
Hitting is worse.
Trauma is trauma.
No, trauma is trauma. Like
mind you, when I say I hit on him, don't make make it seem like I just did it out of nowhere. He would say something.
And
He would degrade me or say something to me that was disrespectful, and there would be a reaction. Don't act like you instant.
Oh, it was a reflex.
Yes.
Hey,
Don't tell me you would fuck another bitch and I want to hit you.
Listen though. I ain't saying you
Get
wrong.
that baggage.
I'm not saying you wrong. I just need to understand that you ain't right.
But I understand that, and I apologize, and I told him, and I gave him the option. If you want to leave me, I will understand, because I wasn't in my right mind, and I wasn't prepared for this relationship. But if you decided to stay with me, understand you cannot hold that over me.
Let's go, TJ. 2 years.
Hey,
I hit you 2 times.
But think about it, though. I'm gonna tell you. But look, hold on. A female is
every time you leave the house, you go think about it.
A female is.
But if that's the case, you need to leave me, because I'm not going to be changing myself for you to keep holding my mistakes over me.
Hold on. Because they have females that'll sit there and say don't hold against me, but when it comes to a man and you say you don't hold against you, as soon as you get mad, you putting that shit right
but
now.
no, because mind you, my dad did all that shit together, and I did not hold it against him. So don't act like I can forgive and forget as long as you don't do it again. As long as you don't do it again, I cannot hold it. Like for me, I have not put my hands on him since that last time he gave me an ultimatum. I have not put my hands on him. So if I don't do those same actions, you cannot keep.
People feel like they can change, but other people can't change.
Yes.
Hold on. Hey, watch this though. Let me come on, man. We finna chop it up.
Come on,
We
preacher.
finna chop it up. Look,
I need to call today.
you ever been cheated on before?
Yes.
Not really, because
look, you ain't been
my
cold.
things.
You ain't never
I was
really
out
been.
doing my things too, so go ahead.
All right,
Like,
so you ain't never really been cheated on. You ain't
No.
never really. But all right, you said the
I ain't
first.
cheat on him, but go
But you
ahead.
said the first dude hit you.
He was a very violent person when we communicated.
All right, so
I
look.
was
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
If
go
you were still with him right now, like your brain wouldn't tell you that it's a potential that he might
would
hit
hit
you.
you.
Right. Your
Yeah.
brain would tell you that, and you can't tell me that
Because
it
that's
won't,
what you
because
already
that's
been
what your
conditioned
brain
to.
is.
You're right.
Yeah, my brain like
That's
that
gonna
now,
happen
and
to
that
you.
shit
You
been buku
cannot-
long ago.
You cannot
You
say
cannot
that you would
forget
not
something.
do that. Right.
You can
cannot-
forget,
that's-
but you can't.
Cannot
It's still
forget.
hard to
Exactly.
forget.
But my
that
thing about
trigger.
Exactly.
you're right. But my thing about it is that, like, if someone says that they're gonna change and it hasn't happened, you cannot hold that against me, because that's gonna make me revert to
Go
back.
my
Now
original
that's another
behavior.
conversation. That's another conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I tell you I'm not gonna hit you no more, you gave me an ultimatum, and we turned around.
I ain't gonna hit you no
Let's
more.
go. You have a choice as a man. You have a choice to either leave me because you don't forgive me, or you can't.
Because what is this?
You have a choice.
Baby, look.
No,
It's not
Whatever
easy to
me,
leave though.
Hey,
You right,
yeah,
but I don't
that
hit you no
man
more.
might really, but that
Yeah.
man might really love you. He might want to be with you, but you can't be mad at him
Because you
put
had
on
a
my
choice.
shit
You
before.
caused
Like,
trauma,
come
though.
on, man.
You had a
date-
choice.
You
He
date
did
me,
have a choice,
like,
but
and
you
I'm a
gotta
man.
understand.
Moving on.
I
Like,
told
hit you
about
back.
like I couldn't really.
You
I
had a
really-
choice
like, look,
as a grown person.
You right, just like you all have a choice. You make an option. Everybody has a choice.
Even
but
though I
you
make the
cannot
choice to
determine
stay, don't
somebody's
mean that I'm not
healing
gonna
process.
remember
Right.
that
You know
you
But
what
that's
I'm
not
saying?
fair to me, because if you
It's
tell
not.
me,
But
It
was
ain't
it fair
fair.
to them that you hit him?
You
That's
right.
what wasn't fair from
You
jump.
right.
So what you
right.
have to
Dr. T.
Right,
you
you're
got
right. I'm sorry.
This is a
You-
process.
But
It's a
you're right,
process.
but it's not, and I understand
Everything
it's a
has a
process.
repercussion.
But at the same time, if you're not gonna forgive me, you're gonna keep bringing
That-
up that's not fair to me.
Girl,
Just
everything
leave.
has
I'd
a
rather just
repercussion.
leave me.
Let
Okay,
it
so
go.
look, let me tell you,
Let
this is something that somebody told
You
me.
should start
I was
fresh.
like, how could you?
You're right.
Okay,
That's
so
my
me and my
mind.
baby daddy was together for years, and so after I left, like, you know, he got engaged 2 months after. I'm like, bitch, how the fuck could you? Like, not, I wouldn't even. I just want to know how. And he was like, you can't expect me to get over something in the same amount of time. Like, I get over stuff just how I feel like getting over it, and like I didn't understand it, but that's how it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're not that type of person, just because you're not the type of person that'll hold it against you, that don't mean that he's not, because you probably triggered something in his life, or his mama, you know, he probably seen abuse from, you know, whatever, and he said he'll never do that, or whatever, right? And you triggered.
You know what I'm saying? She could have pushed that man off the
about
bike.
it.
You
Talk
know what
about
I'm
it,
saying?
brother T-Jack.
Did you talk
Talk
about
about
that? Like, and then you probably could ask him that, and he'll never tell you that. Like, you gotta, people don't really want to study people.
You right,
like, that's
and
your job.
like I said, I'm the kind of person, I'm an adult. I would take 100%. I would take 100% responsibility. But at the same time, as an adult, you have to take responsibility of yourself as well.
Look, yes,
if you cannot let it go,
but he called you. He was verbally abusive, but you was physically abusive.
Correct.
Which are on two different tiers, but both are wrong.
Correct.
But you can get over that because you've already experienced it in your last relationship, in a previous relationship. So
he ain't
you knew how to move on
he
from
don't
that
know
place.
how to heal.
Black talk.
Look, this is
It's nobody's fault.
Look,
Yeah, it's nobody's fault.
This all you had to stop at. I take 100% responsibility.
And I said that.
Here, no but. Because after this is what I'm saying. After that, all you do is take your lick for you. Yes, he is wrong, or maybe that don't matter.
Don't be keep bringing that to me.
And that's true.
But
that's
see,
your
that's
conversation.
what you
That's
stop
when you
and
got
you
to
tell
really
him
stop.
like, dude, look, I
If
told
you
you I was done. You told me you was okay
saying?
with it.
Yeah.
So you either gonna accept that
This ain't
or
healthy
not.
for us.
Because look, every time you say
Yes.
but, it deletes the
whole statement.
But see, I don't say but.
You
he
just
does.
said it. You said
I know I'm talking to y'all,
100%.
but when I talk to him, I say I'm sorry. That's it. And then he continues to go on.
But that's
I say I'm sorry and I'm done.
Because he still want to express himself. Don't cut. I
haven't. But what do you want me to do?
I hate to be
What do you
cut
want?
off.
It's
just like y'all.
It's been 2 years since it happened. So what do you want me to
But
do?
you also say in the beginning, you said the first 2 years was a hassle, but these 2 years have been a dream. So with that being said, although he brings it up, it has not been a problem to where it makes you feel like this relationship is not. But just like you want him to say, okay, well, I forgive you or whatever like that. You don't want him to always bring it up. He don't want you to always say, oh, you should be over it by now. You should be over it. Right. That's how we get silence. Because we feel like people make us feel like I heard a comment say, oh, well, he dating gone now. She shouldn't even say what. You can't silence me because you want your man to be verbal with you and communicate with you. But when he tell you that's basically him telling you that still hurt me. I would never think you'll do that to me. Yeah. Not saying that he love you any less, but it's still whenever it's a trigger. So when you go through something and it's a trauma in your life, just because you have spoke about the trauma, that don't mean that you don't have to trigger something. Right. Yeah. So you still have that in your brain or whatever. That's just like Kiana. She married, she out of a relationship that she had that was abusive, but she still have triggers.
Right. Next man.
So let me ask you a question as man. Does that make you non-worthy to be somebody's wife?
No. That's what people forget about.
And you said this around, so TJ, look.
Right. So what you think?
That's what people forget about relationships. Relationships is a big ball of understanding. Like everything that you do, or every bit of the person that you are, every way that you walk, you think is for a reason. You either reacted negatively or positively to something that happened to you in your life. And my job as your significant other dating you is to figure out if potential, not just what it is, but if I potentially want to be with this for the rest of my life.
Right.
With whatever triggers
because just like you did that before, what says if I won't make you mad again sometime down the line and you might have that urge
again, I might not want to deal with that. I might not can't handle that.
We have had that conversation where we were it would be the same conversation and I would have hit him, but I didn't. So at this point, I have changed myself.
But
so change
you
yourself.
What if one day he cheat? You know what I'm saying? Or he cuss at you by accident. You go cheat. Now that's wrong.
Because I didn't cheat on you.
But no.
Cheating on you is a whole different.
But look, just how you feel
like a level of standards on a relationship.
And you have sex with someone else.
You cannot do that. You cannot do that. That is still wrong. That is still wrong. Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. You are being hypocritical right now.
It was his job.
You are being hypocritical.
Your office.
Next.
You're being very hypocritical.
You don't need your joint anyway.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, it's better for a man to beat his wife than to cheat his wife.
No. I'm just saying, in my situation, if you cheat on me, that's a whole type of betrayal. That's different.
But if you hit him, that was a whole type of betrayal.
It was wrong.
All right, but he didn't leave you. So why would you leave him if he cheat on you? That's what a marriage is.
Because you called it at a different way.
That's what a marriage is.
You put my life at risk. You can give me HIV or something.
No, that's
crazy. You had a baby.
You could have took his eye out.
out.
And he
I
could
know I
have.
could've
You
took him
just
out.
no. Bigger than that. Bigger than that. You risked his freedom because if he would have decked you back, he could have went to jail. 15 to 25
Y'all would have called the
years.
police on him. I would have.
It don't matter. Your mama could have called somebody.
I would not have.
You would not have.
Get your head.
I thought I hear that TV.
Right, but it doesn't make sure it right.
But no, that's wrong is wrong. Like, people have to stop doing that.
Girl, let me
Wrong
tell you.
is wrong.
I
Okay,
was in
so
an abusive relationship, bitch, and I got with Cordell and I hit him. Cordell told me, you hit me again, I'm gonna knock your motherfucking ass out.
Don't
I
you ever touch your because I'm not gonna
I'm
take
not
that.
that nigga. I
I'm
ain't
not
never
gonna
touch
take
you.
that. I'm
So
not gonna do you that though.
if you feel like you need to hit me, you need to move around.
That's probably Dale right there.
You take
Because a man only takes so much, you know. You may hit the man once, twice, but after that, he say, I'm gonna punch the fuck out you. He gonna stand for
Who
that.
is it on my husband, y'all?
Real talk.
Okay, so Carriel said, but men do that too.
Do what?
They said we forgive them, then we shouldn't bring it up because they mean we did not forgive them.
You're right, and I feel like that's my
It's
situation
wrong
on the opposite,
still.
right?
It's still wrong.
Like I said, you have an option. As an adult, you have at one point there's a trigger in your mind where you start making decisions for yourself. If you decide that you cannot forgive me no more, and I give you the option, like, hey, I know I fucked up. Do not. Excuse me. Sorry. Do not. If you don't want to be with me no more, I can understand, and I take full responsibility. But if you decide to be with me, do not keep throwing it in my face because I'm trying to be another person.
Hey,
I'm trying to be a different person.
absolutely correct. But
you got to speak it from experience.
But yeah,
all you need to do is explain to him that I understand that you
have to
forget
tell
this
him.
trauma, but the way you present it to me is kind of offensive.
Maybe
And
I should bring him around
it
now.
really triggers the thing that you don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to explain to him. So I need you to find another way to express that to me.
You're right.
That you are traumatized by this. Because if you tell me one more time you think I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna show you what it feels like.
I'm gonna hit your
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
it is really
I didn't hit you 2 chances.
And then you feel like this too, like you cannot, just like you say, like, I know that for a fact because if you said that the past 2 years have been a dream, like, he does not bring it up as much as he did. So you have to acknowledge that. Just like you want him to acknowledge that you're not doing that.
Right. It gotta be even on both ends, bro.
Like, you gotta acknowledge that within you, and then you'll be able to see it. Like,
because you knew it was wrong. You knew, so that's why you so hard on yourself. But it's pouring out like you hard on him. But you knew that was wrong.
Hey, look. You gotta be for him what you would want him to be for you. If he decked you and you stay with him.
I'm not doing that.
But
you gotta show me that you're seeing it. Because if you're acting like I'm not doing nothing at all, I'm gonna have a problem with it.
Exactly. So what if you was in his shoes and you was doing nothing at all?
That goes back to your love language.
Would you really not understand? Like, you would want him, if you really didn't understand something, you would want him to break it down to like really help me understand. Because what if
honey, I do it sexually, I do it verbally, I do it non-verbally.
Hey, look,
baby, I am here for you. I am sorry. I'm still making up for the time that I did you wrong.
Women think sex is not a reward or bonus or benefit. You get the same thing I get. No. That ain't no reward.
I don't have to give it to you. I can give it to anybody I want to, sweetie. But I'm
choosing nobody, baby. I can give it to my bullet.
Hey, look. Us getting booty. Us getting booty is related.
But you
I love every part of
that.
that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand up on that. We can hold that to a reward. We can do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's a gift, that's cool. But don't make this like this is going to make me forgive.
Okay, so
that was good, no.
You can't be wanting to be glorified for not doing what you shouldn't have been doing in the first place.
I feel like if you with him and say he going through this trauma and it keep triggering him. If he want to be with you, he shouldn't bring that shit up. Right. Like if you want to be with somebody, you gonna acknowledge that growth and move. That go for you too, friend. You gotta acknowledge his growth. He gonna acknowledge your growth, and then y'all put that shit to the side and move on. Like if he keep, I'm a firm believer in what's for you is for you. I'm not finna make you be for me. If I don't fuck with you, if I feel like we not compatible, we going through too much of shit, then I'm gonna put you to the side. If it's meant to be, it's gonna come back around.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes
You
you
know
do
what I'm
take
saying?
like a break, you know,
Maybe y'all
pause.
Question:
Some wine.
Did you brush it off?
Okay.
Did y'all
I'm
really?
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Did you brush it off at the beginning, or did you really deal with it? Because sometimes, even though you did it, you may think you dealt with it, but you really kind of brushed
Honestly,
it off.
when after it happened, I knew immediately wrong that I did something wrong. Immediately, I did something wrong.
All right, so
and I expressed that to him. I'm a Cancer, so I'm very open. I'm very emotional, and I'm going to communicate.
Your feelings.
I'm gonna for real. Yes, when I'm in my feelings, I'm gonna communicate to you that I am in my feelings. And if something happens like that, one, you triggered me. Two, I'm gonna tell you that what you did triggered me, and I'm gonna tell you not to do it anymore. If you decide to do it again and something happens,
You don't want no water, baby.
But I'm just saying, like, I just want, at this point, it's been 2 years. We have now moved between states. And if we move between states, at this point, I'm trying to tell you, like,
he moved
this
across
is
the
not,
country with you. He's
this
showing
is
you
not
action.
something-
He's
Thank you.
showing you that he loves you, but at the same time, I feel like it's
He put
some
in my
down,
place or something like
somewhere
that.
down the line. It's
Don't forget
That's
you
what
did
you
this.
call it right.
Don't forget you
Don't
did
get
this.
too happy now. I bet you hit
Yeah.
before.
But I feel at some point down the line, there should be a point where y'all communicate. It's missing a communication somewhere. And you can communicate all day long, but if the other person not understanding, then that communication is null and void. Because you have to understand what I'm telling you.
So what do you do if your person is not understanding?
Get another one.
That ain't what you supposed to do.
Honestly, what I've been trying to do is
for the married people now. Give the example now.
Okay, so this is a good one. She said he love you, but he still have a guard.
You're right. He does. Okay.
Get the baby off the set.
You got baby on the line.
You're right. You're right, and I understand that, and that's why I've been trying to expose him to different people. I've been trying to expose him to different men, so they can get a different
because sometimes that's how
mindset.
they do understand. You know what I'm saying? When you bring them around people,
some people might take that defensive though, like shit. What you want that nigga? Like, why you bringing me around that nigga?
Come on, you got to watch that. You got to watch that.
That's insecurity.
No, that's a man. That's a man. That's like me bringing a woman around to teach you how to clean.
Exactly.
How? That's the same thing.
That's a man perspective.
Even if my sister cook better than you, and we always go over there to eat, because I want you to see that she can cook better, you gonna take that offensively. If that ain't brought to you the right way, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, TJ. Y'all talking about these men talk holes. He done wrote a book for y'all. Think like a fucking man. Because if you bring that man in a situation like that, you will what? So
I'm not talking about bringing another woman.
He said a couples.
Yeah. Like if I bring him around Cordell, he can understand. Like
you get a different point of view.
A man is a dominant.
So my man is the kind of person that everything needs to be perfect. So if I bring him around someone that understands, tells him like, baby, listen, everything's not gonna be perfect.
But from a male's point of view,
you think he'll be more receptive? I agree.
But watch this. Like, what does he look at? Because if you put me, watch this. If you put me next to a regular man, it don't matter what he got going on. I ain't gonna believe none of that, right? Because he ain't got nothing that can prove that what you got going on is right.
If you're in a healthy relationship and you tell him like, listen, you know, these women, you have to do this and the other, but you understand that what this woman loves you, he will listen to that. He'll be receptive to that. Because in his head, he thinks that we're not supposed to have arguments because he thinks that it's supposed to be perfect.
That's some men, because
if a man go in the world saying everything's perfect, he got a loan, he got a hard life.
If a woman come to me and she tell me, yo man, this just me. So I might need to grow a little bit more, but it's just me.
You can't tell me
if a man come to me, if a woman come to me and tell me, your man is doing all this so good, you need to really buckle down and bitch, you want my man. What you looking at him like that for?
She ain't gonna take it that way.
No, listen, I feel like
she ain't gonna take it that way.
No, look, I agree with what she's saying because that's just like with this podcast. So we are all young, we are relatable, we are around the same age. It's your peers. So what I can say is, man, you know, that was down bad for doing that. I can say the same thing your mama said, but you're going to take it from me because you relate to me more. That is the same.
We're in the same position. We're both young, and I'm trying to get married. You're already married. Something he might not be getting something that Cordell has already gotten. So when he talks to him, it'll click.
Let me tell you,
but at the same time, all men are built
exactly.
We the
talking
same
about
time,
us that's on this podcast, which is 1 out of 10,
I'm gonna tell you
and
this,
the rest
baby.
of the 10.
If you felt like
ain't
you were to
looking
bring
too
him
good.
somewhere and he don't click it, and then you feel like because he's married and he ain't let his ass go after so long,
But I
you
mean,
like,
that's just
you
an
know,
example.
you know what I mean?
I ain't trying to let him go now.
Look, I feel like
I didn't get out of there.
I feel
One
like-
episode, y'all.
I feel like y'all. I think y'all have a good relationship. I
We
just
do.
feel
We just gotta
like
figure
I
some
feel like
fine-tune stuff.
there's a lack of, and it's because I know her. You know, like I feel like there's a lack of understanding and communication. Like you have what?
Hey, so look, do y'all have quality time? How much quality
We do,
time?
a
And when
lot.
you have quality time,
So-
what's quality
That's
So
time?
to let y'all
What
know
are you
what my
talking
relationship is, me and him went to high school together, and we've been best friends since high school. We went to college, we dated other people, we fucked up
Oh,
whatever.
man.
So
That's what you
after college, we dated. You know, now we're dating, and we've been together. Like I said, August
So he
1st,
saw
4
you
years.
go through your whole
And-
phase.
Yes,
Hey,
he was my best friend. I talked to
hey,
him about other niggas
but
and
look
everything. He was
though,
my best friend.
You know what's gonna be one of y'all biggest problems?
He
Knowing
knows.
too
This-
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You say this all the
You
time.
told him too
Y'all
much.
go
No
assume
problem,
y'all
I don't
not just
remember what I
knowing
told
too
him, but-
much. Y'all go assume
The
y'all
worst.
know
Y'all
each
know
other
each
too
other.
much. Like y'all been around each other for some time.
Yeah.
So quality time that y'all have, like this small thing, will drive you to make him break up with
Break
each
up
other
with you.
because this is not something y'all discuss in quality time
Right.
because y'all been together so
Been together so
long.
long.
Because
Y'all
we fake
automatically
assume
assume that
we
y'all
know
know
each
each
other.
other.
And
And
you don't.
because
We
every day
change every
something
day.
happens.
Something
What you
happens
say,
every day.
friend? Designated date night.
You have
Yes.
to.
Gotta have a
We might
Yeah.
need to do something well, y'all, he just bought a house, so woo-hoo. So we've been doing yes,
Well,
y'all,
yeah.
in a black
You
neighborhood.
better
So
stick with that, man.
he just bought a house. So a
Or
lot of
else.
stuff
Y'all
that
just
we're
bought a
doing.
house.
You're right, we just bought a house.
Yes, it ain't all him.
But you
Y'all
better
just
speak
bought
that
a house.
ring.
Yes, we bought a house, so it's been a lot of stuff that has been like kind of put in past tense because we just been perfect.
Both of them. What
Mine,
you
so
mean?
listen,
That's
so
together.
listen. I'm gonna say it this way
Stop
because
playing now.
I have a lot of students. I have much more student loans than he does because I went to Tuskegee. He went to a community college, but we both got the same degree. So he was able to purchase a house in his name,
Look,
and I was
crossover.
able to be on the loan.
Cross it.
So, but my money went into the down payment
Right.
just as much as his money did.
Right.
So we bought a house,
Correct.
and a lot of stuff has been happening this past 3 months. So I think that I was telling Kiana that maybe a lot of stuff has been happening. Once everything gets back to normal, I'm gonna see how it works there. But I don't know if y'all judge me for this, but I have a 6-year, a time, if you're not gonna marry me or at least propose to me in 6 years, we don't have the same mindset and we don't have the same goals.
But
that's
gonna
what
take
they
a
be
I ain't
big
talking
alone.
about that.
Question
It's
though.
your standards,
Hey,
Right.
and question
So-
though, pause.
Sorry,
Here's what I think a
Georgia.
lot of people do, and
My backstory.
because of what society is, we don't do this or we don't find ways to do this. You're about to give him a big ultimatum, right?
Right.
Either you finna make a decision now, or we finna waste 2 more years.
Men
of our
don't
lives
like that.
and
That's
then
pressure.
work on-
Yeah.
But look, so
And got a
understand
house.
this: before you do that,
That's
do something first. Put
Yeah.
all of your energy
You're
into
right.
your relationship, and that requires this sometimes. I'm not going to work this week. You don't go to work this week because we just gonna spend time with each other for
Right.
this week to see if this really
What we wanna do.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On
and
vacation.
It may be what you
You're
want
right.
to
You
do.
know, even though
You know what I'm
y'all
saying?
always be together, y'all need a different scenery. Like,
You're right.
you know what
For
I'm saying?
hours,
Like, right, like
just-
your man, I feel like this, your significant other, your partner, is supposed to be your best friend.
Your
Not
go-to,
necessarily
yeah.
have to tell them every single detail that's going on in your life. I mean, I do, but I'm just saying, like, it's supposed to
No,
be all
That's
recorded.
part of
But
the
you
problem
really- you
because
really
I
supposed to,
I would
though.
talk to him
Right.
about if I'm like
It's really teamwork. Like,
Yeah,
it really
Yeah. Like
supposed to
it's you
communicate.
never gonna go to
Like-
the top. You're never gonna reach your full potential by yourself. I don't care who you is. Jay-Z, a billionaire, he got all
He
this
still
and all
got
that, but you
Beyonce
still
on side
have to
of him.
have a team to get there because, like I said, it's gonna be times when you lose motivation for you. You gotta do it for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I feel like we. I feel like it's not about. I feel like you should never give a man an ultimatum because he's gonna
You're
be
right.
forced. But every woman have this time in their head, whether
I don't
we
want to
want to say it
I
or
don't want
not.
to be a girlfriend for 10 years.
Right, that's what, and you shouldn't
That's
have to
cool.
be because
You
if
don't
you
have
see
to-
that, why I
yeah.
gotta wait for 10
That's your
years?
preference. That's like
That's
B. Simone. That's your
That's
Exactly.
10
preference.
years.
And does he know that though?
He does.
So
does he know it's strong?
No,
Is it a
let's say this.
And why is he not doing it?
No, he took her ring shopping. Like he took her to look at rings.
Y'all. Let me give you background.
Yeah,
we have been to Zales multiple times where he wanted. It wasn't me. He took me to the ring shop and he got my ring size and he was like, "You like this?" I was like, "Yeah." And this not one time, but several times in Georgia and in Louisiana.
And then you turn around.
So and then you turn around when I talk to you about like fuck it, fuck a wedding, fuck all that shit. I just want to be married to you.
Why?
That's because I.
You know what marriage is? You know that a ring is just a symbol.
It doesn't have to be a ring. We could go to the.
But I'm just saying, what is going to change
when y'all
with the commitment? Because he should be committed whether y'all married or not.
You're right.
I'm saying, okay. So what in your mind is going to change if
once
y'all
that
get
paper
married?
It's a commitment. Like you committed.
You should already have that commitment.
But
That's just a legal piece of paper.
But yes, you're committed to be my boyfriend.
Deeper.
But it's like deeper for me. For me, it's deeper than me. It's like yeah, I'm your girlfriend. I know you're committed.
You want somebody committed to you.
100%.
And right now,
you think because you married that he ain't gonna cheat, or because he married he ain't gonna do this or
that?
No, I'm just saying. Correct.
You're looking at a wedding as a validation.
I know somebody that is married, been with somebody for 14, 13 years. Dude cheat on her like it's nature. Like that's really his human nature.
But the thing about I don't want a wedding. I don't want.
That to you that's gonna be really love. Like you really love me.
Not even saying that you really love me, but this is what I want. Like this is something like if I give you what you want pussy every single day. That's weird. I give you what you want. I'm so sorry, but if you want it every single day, the least I want is at least for you to sign it. I want your last name. I don't have to have a big wedding. I don't have to have a ring. You can literally give me a ring, baby. I don't care. Just give me.
What will your marriage symbolize? For me and Dale, like we really won. You know, like I can honestly say that he's
it's just
my
the next
best
step
friend.
in your relationship.
You know what I'm
saying?
But
like right now, I feel like we're constant.
It's easy for him to leave
like
right now because y'all have no ties.
That marriage that girl. Let me tell you.
Why?
Girl,
go to America first.
I don't know him. I don't know.
Oh, so
that's
look,
the
that's
problem.
a problem.
That's the
because
problem.
you want to be married, but you never asked your significant other.
But
We've been ring shopping. Why haven't we been married?
When I asked him that, he tells me that. Oh my goodness,
question.
He was like, you obsessed over marriage. I'm like, how am I? You took me to a ring shop. How am I not supposed to be obsessed over? You put a ring on my finger. You told me to size my finger. How am I not supposed to be obsessed over?
So he led you on. He got you there, and then
she went with her expectations.
Can you take mine?
Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna say I was alone, but I was,
you.
lit.
I'm not condemning you.
A little loose, but you made me this person. I was not this person before.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not condemning you. I'm only casting a judgment.
Okay.
This is what I believe.
Brother TJ.
This is what I believe.
Look, girl.
You are in just as much as fault as he is.
You're
and
right,
that's what I need you to understand. Like, you may be prolonging something that don't need to be prolonged. Or if not, like, you just haven't communicated this fully with him. And I believe that you may have said, why we been ring shopping, da-da-da-da-da. But you ain't really communicate this with him like, do you not understand that I want to be married?
Yes.
When you took me there, I had
this made me feel like this.
That made me do this, da-da-da. You
I had to learn
just as much as
you have to say
you
stuff
probably
like
are.
And then look, how about this?
No, ain't no
maybe
problem.
he's
prolonging it. He right.
You prolong. I mean, he's prolonging it. And guess what? When y'all get married, it's gonna be a total disaster. You will wish y'all would have never got married. So you gotta accept a person for what they show you. Because just like I say, how long does it really take for you to know that you want to be with a person?
Then look, then at the same time, women, you don't want to press.
I see this every day. I know somebody. This is not somebody that I just met. This is somebody that I know. And marriage was so just how it is with you, for because we talk. I know how important marriage is to you, so it was just as important to her. Dude really looked her in her face and said, "That ain't nothing but a piece of paper."
And so even like with you, you felt like because of your background that you had, or people made you feel like you had to be married because you got a child. And you give your man an ultimatum like, okay, we got a baby. So.
I told Cordell, I'm pregnant, I want to get married. Cordell said, I'm not ready. I'm not proposing to you, period. And that's what we did. Even though we was together.
You know why though? I bet he explained you why.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
We was together for like a year and a half before I had my baby. But you know, and I'm telling him like my mama telling me like I need to be married. Like, what are you doing? What you waiting on? We together. We love each other. We have a baby. Cordell said we not there yet. Like, we not ready. And I really appreciate him for waiting because if we would have rushed into that, like I was still immature.
For me, I honestly don't understand. And I tell him I don't understand his reason because he tells me like, well, I want us to have a foundation. But for me, our foundation is
not
like.
the one.
Hey, question.
He
But
is not
next
the
question
one.
though.
How many times?
But look though, and maybe that's not the case. Maybe
He said he wants a house. He wants to have his
but look
own
though,
thing before he gets married.
question.
But
His own thing or y'all?
Maybe he
You have to pay
right.
attention to signals and
What if
words.
your process
Thank you, Harvey.
requires? What
Thank
if your
you.
process for you requires 10 years for you to get what you want out of him? Look at your expectation that you're asking for.
I feel like
you
if-
said you just had a dream relationship for 2 years. But you finna give him an ultimatum for the next 2. First of all, you admitted to 2 years of disaster that you partaked in. Then he gave you 2 years of dream from 2 years of disaster that you partaked in, right? And now you're in a position where you say,
just because that 2 years a dream don't mean that that's her husband.
but not necessarily.
Molding him for another bitch.
I'm not saying that he's not your husband, but all I'm saying is,
Oh yeah, okay. So hold
look at
on.
the reason. You gotta
Okay.
communicate. Look at the reason why he.
Okay,
not
so
doing it.
Denise said it don't take a long time to know what you want. You can meet
don't.
somebody
There you
tomorrow.
go, Denise.
There
you go.
I know that. It's not. It don't take that long, bro. Real talk. Come on, man.
We are live. Come on, man.
Come on, Keith.
All right, y'all. So Denise,
I'm sorry, girl.
Denise said it don't take a long time to know what you want. You can meet
Denise.
somebody tomorrow and know
No.
you want to spend the rest of your life with them.
Right.
It don't take long. Her mind, in her opinion, her mind is her mind have to open up more before he married her. She a little too close-minded, honestly. He sound like a good dude though, to be honest.
he is a great person. He's a hard working.
Girl,
But at the same time with that man, you cannot sit there and press that man over because you've been to a ring shop. Because after a while, he already knew you want to get married.
But stop bringing me to a ring shop.
Hey, but look.
Stop leading you on. Ain't you just said that the other day?
Yes, but I'm saying he brought you a ring shop.
Hey,
How many times? Once or twice?
No, like 5 or 6.
It should be one
So that
time.
means
It should be 5 times.
I
say,
feel like
bro, you cannot say
people get
that
married
somebody.
for time. Like, people get married because I've been with this person for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to marry them.
Right.
And that's not the
Exactly.
case.
That's
like,
not the case.
I was
You
in a-
cannot
All right, yeah, y'all gonna be
determine
quiet.
that for a
Let TJ
person.
oh, bitch.
You cannot determine
He's trying to get
time
it out.
for a person. You're measuring 6 years to 50, 60. Like, you don't know what marriage holds in that person. Like, to me, I've been cutting stuff so quick all my life. Only because I know.
Boy.
For real, being with somebody for marriage, that's for the rest of your life. I had uncles who I worked with, and they would come, I would hear them tell stories about how they would leave to go to the grocery store and forget stuff 3 and 4 times so they wouldn't go home today. I don't want to deal with that. That's dead. I don't want to be with nobody who I don't want to be around. So you got to understand that marriage is like, and it's all about what you shown. I saw that. I had an opportunity to hear that, express that, say, oh, I don't want to deal with that. If I got to get a wife, I ain't going to be like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody not giving that opportunity. So you cannot say, and then you, on top of that, you still admitted to 2 years of trauma that could be equal up to 4 years of making up for him. You never know.
And
you
then,
cannot
and
do
then
that.
not only that, but okay. So Denise said she know he interested. She may be delaying her own proposal by constantly pushing it.
I was just saying, don't press.
Yes, and I also feel like this. I feel like
I told her that before. Like, don't keep telling him.
You only push the man away like that.
And I also feel like this. Men say this like, okay, I'm gonna propose. Just say like, I'm gonna propose to next Friday. If y'all get in an argument before next Friday, the proposal off.
That's a wrap.
So it's just like, it's a time thing. Like if you doing, cause I done heard this boy like who I work with. He said, man, I really love her. She do everything like she take care of my child like it's for her. And
Man, pay attention to what y'all got going on. Dang.
Shit, I heard sniff. I thought it was some shit on the floor.
I thought it was a line being snorted or something. I don't know what's going on back there. But anyways, I heard, he said that he was like, but she just don't act right. But for you to even have the thought of proposing, apparently she act right, but you can't let one argument get in the way of that, because we go have arguments. Like, I think men feel like, you know, whenever we get married, all that's supposed to die down. Or we still go have arguments. We still go disagree on certain things. Like, but with a marriage, people say that all the time. Oh, y'all should have waited till y'all got married to have a baby. It just would have been so much harder, because if we ain't meant.
I feel like when me and Cordell had crossing, it brought us closer together. Yes, we had our baby out of wedlock, but I feel like just us bonding, even in the delivery room, like us bonding, us raising him together, it showed me like so many characteristics that I had never seen in him before.
Exactly.
Right. Like I didn't even know he had that in him, you know, to see him be a father. And
so can we stop saying this? Like, if it's meant, it's meant. Nobody is meant for you. I hate when people say that.
Everybody has a
choice.
Yes.
Marriage is a choice. Marriage is a choice. The person is only something that is compatible with you. And you will have multiple of them, but you are talking about a choice. You will have options, like this person may have 7 things that I like. This person may have 8 things that I like, but this person may look like this to me and that attracts me. All of that is a choice in which you decide to be with. Now, that can be just your choice.
I don't think mine was a choice.
Hey, because I
can choose to be with somebody else, but that don't make the grass greener. Like,
it don't, because it's all about what you choose to be with. You know what I'm saying? Like you said you didn't notice some of the qualities until the baby came.
Oh, baby, I couldn't see my Oh, baby, Costa had moved it. I couldn't.
Hey, y'all, look, if you complaining about our setup, hit the cash app and we gonna do better. I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
We putting the money into it.
We doing good.
You see it. Hey, but look though, check this out. So yeah, like you didn't never it was qualities that you didn't see until the baby came. You said that. Like, so that same thing could happen for another man. A baby could come in his whole everything will change. Like, it's just a choice.
I always say you never know a nigga. You never know a person until you have a baby.
Until you
because
married.
Different stuff.
It's certain commitments.
Me and Cordell both came from different backgrounds. His mama had him when she was 17. My mama ain't had me till she was 30. So I grew up in a very strict household. His household was very loving and nurturing, like,
because
his
it was
mama.
A friend.
Yes, his mama is like his best friend. My mama don't play that shit. Like, I can't call my mama and be like, my husband did this, because she gonna be like, what the fuck you calling me for? You know, like, I can't call my mama and be like, oh, ma, can you help us with shit? No, you got a man in the house. What the fuck you need me for? You know. But you know, he had that relationship with his mama, and now that we are married, even before we got married, I have that relationship with his mama because I lacked that in my mama. You know, so
elsewhere.
Exactly, and I feel like that's a reason why I have not a lot of friends, but I drop a lot of friends because I look for stuff that my mama didn't have, and you know, and I look for that in friends. Like, I want to be able to confide and tell people some things, and I can't do that. I don't trust.
Okay, so go back to what she said in the beginning. She said, you know, people use you because they lack some energy. But that's what you're supposed to go for. If I lack something, that's the yin and a yang.
Yes.
So if I lack something, I expect you, even as an partner.
As E.T. said,
and that's okay, but I was talking about the people that are like negatively, like draining your energy.
So look, who are you faulting? The people or yourself? This is the
that goes back to self-reflection.
Yeah, this is the real world. You live in a world where people only want you or something.
That's how I had to elevate in my relationship, because I had to tell myself, you looking for something that you have. Like, you don't need to look for that. You understand. You know what it feel like to not have it. So why are you going to search for this and these different people? You have a man that's right here that was created for you, that does everything that you need. Y'all work good together, so you don't need to go look for nothing in nobody else. That's why I feel like me and Dale can have such an open, because people talk about us all the time. They say we weird, but we very open with each other. Like, we talk about everything. It don't matter if you in my DMs, my husband know you in my DMs. Right. You in his DMs, you know, I know you in his DMs.
Hit your bubble. Like, all y'all who thought you was
we
slide.
Communicate very well. Like,
we have seen those messages since.
You had a podcast podcast about privacy versus something else. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily being private, but we still have our privacy. Like, I'm not just gonna pick up his phone and go through his phone, but you know, if we bonded, if we chilling together, it's not a problem for me to look over. Oh, what's on your timeline? What you see? You know, he can show me something. You know, but
like
I give him
your
privacy.
phone, and you gotta say, oh, why you need, like, you know.
Yeah, no, you
So
know
that he said, but it gotta be reciprocated positively.
Yes.
Like when you lack something and somebody gives you something like
that's like me and Keelan.
That's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
That's the only that's just
because I feel like if my man have insecurities or like he can't communicate, let's just say that he can't communicate, I'm gonna show you. You can confide in me. You can communicate with me. I'm gonna help you because
I'm gonna confide in you,
right? But that's my strong suit. So I'm going to build you up, and I'm gonna let you know because, like I said, relationship. Everything is a relationship. If you friends, that's a relationship. Your mama and your bond, everything is a relationship. So when you go out on the job, even if you do work for yourself, you have to have a relationship. You have to build a relationship with your clients. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to know how to talk to people. You got to know how, whenever somebody says, oh, how much is going to be? Oh, hold on, wait, let me see. No, you got to already have that.
Right. How to communicate.
You can't be stumbling.
If you don't know it, you gotta know how to stall. You got to know how to buy time. You just got to know how to talk.
That goes all the way back to perception and how people perceive things that they are taught. Like, if I can pour into you these things, like Kevin can pour into me, like, okay, you know, you need to grow, friend. I'm instilling this into you, but if I don't receive that or perceive it the way that she's giving it to me, I'm still not gonna grow. I'm gonna be stuck at a standstill.
And that's just like what, like, you know, we got a group chat, like, you know, and we all, like, I'm like, girl, you need to change this name to Girl Power, and she put it to Black Girl Magic, because it's like everybody doing everybody in their own avenue, but I don't never, like I tell them, like, girl, we need to link, because we ain't been talking in a week, like, I've been busy, like, she been busy, like, we both have our own avenue of what we want to do, but it's like, I still support her, she support me 100%, like, I already know, I don't even gotta ask her, do she want this, I'm writing her name down, she don't ask for no discounts, she don't nothing, and the same with her, like, when she said, oh, I want to do this, man, go get your LLC, like, you know what I'm saying, do that first and foremost. If I can't, I'm gonna invest in you, because I'm not looking for nothing back, because I already know sometimes, you know, you got a whole house, so if I got the extra money, why not? Because that's what's keeping us back financially. We're held back financially. So
girl,
if you got somebody
I just told Dale the other day, like, I feel like if we still had the mindset like that our ancestors had, as far as like coming together as a community, I feel like our generation is very open-minded and very
the generation that's gonna do it.
If we still had the mindset that our ancestors had, y'all, we could be so powerful. We could come together as a community.
Just how we come together to protest against the police brutality.
We need to come together and
support each other for entrepreneurship. You know, everybody not meant to be entrepreneurs. Everybody not meant to have their own business.
But that don't mean I'm not gonna support my friends.
It's just like, you know, some people say, oh, well, that's too high. I sent this to everybody. Like, when I did my toast, I sent it to like 6 people who I consider, like, you know, who I talk to or whatever. 5 of those 6 people, 4 of those 6 people said, girl, no, that's a good price. Like, I really do it higher, but you know, that's a good price. And then 2 of them said, oh, no, that ain't gonna work. That's too high. But I knew, like, my friend and, you know, my dude mama said, girl, no, look, do that. Like, you know, they'll spend it on something else. So, you know, it's just like, you gotta have
people that want to invest in you
are
gonna invest in you, like,
because they gonna spend the same $30 on gas. You gonna spend the same $30 somewhere else.
That's a part of
crawfish.
That is a big part of life, that society also put us in a very hard position. But as a black community, a society, like, stop focusing on the negatives. Just because one person told you no, that's how you bring more no's to you. Like,
everybody
focus on the one person that told you yes. Like,
because I remember somebody told me, you know, oh, why you don't ask for stuff? Because I was like, oh, I don't ask for nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it on my own. He was like, why? Because you scared you gonna get told no. I'm like, I mean, and he was like, oh, I'm your one yes. Like, you know, that could be your one yes that you missing or whatever like that. Like, you know, you so used to being told no, so you say, oh, I'm gonna go do it. Like, see me, I get my own nails done, have all that. But he could tell me that yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, with my son, I always have that one yes. So
I used to sell cars, and they used to say, if you get 7 no's before you ever receive 1 yes. That's 7 no's. 7 people, you gonna ask 7 people something and they all gonna tell you no, and that 8th person is gonna be your one yes. That one yes is gonna motivate you to be like, fuck them 7 no's. This one yes then push me to do more than I've ever done.
Just like how you asked earlier about your journal.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me earlier.
Yes,
about
I
the
was
journal.
like, well, Kiana really bought it, like, you know, and she the reason why I sold out my journal. So I had one more journal left, and I'm officially sold out my journals, y'all. I still have tote bags. I have 4 more left. So if you want to purchase a tote, I have my Cash App pin. So send me, do the Cash App, baby. It's a baby on the line. But if y'all want a tote, you can Cash App me, and I will definitely put your name down, and your total secure once you Cash App. So yes, but we are about to end this. Thank y'all for coming on. Do y'all have any closing remarks?
Oh, y'all know exactly.
I just want to say, my Instagram is naturallykey_. Go follow your girl, okay?
Naturally_key.
So if you ain't going to follow her for her blog and all that,
blog
stay
coming
off her
soon.
live. That's my sister, and I'll slap y'all before her
Okay.
So that's how it's coming. Hey, but look though, y'all stay on my trail. I saw about 12 of y'all follow me yesterday. The next 12 of y'all, make sure y'all go follow me today. You hear me? That's sold_UP_ on Instagram. You heard me? Get at me. We got the electrical. That's Square One Electrical. And then, you know,
That's the only thing
and
y'all
we
can
got the
follow
dogs
him
on
for,
the
because
way.
he got a girlfriend, and his girlfriend do not play that.
Okay, she crazy as fuck.
And we pull up, sis.
And his sister crazy as fuck too. So
And we'll pull up as well.
don't play with him.
So y'all follow him for business purposes only.
Period.
Man, you follow me.
That's that on that. In it.
I'm a spokesperson. I'm a spokesperson. Follow me, man. I supply life to the streets. I'm the hood therapist. I'm the one they listen to. I'm the one they. Yeah. I really spit that hot stuff.
All right, hold on. We gonna do that after. All right, so y'all got something to say? You want me to follow you?
Just follow me on
You follow
Instagram.
me, Kayla, KD.
Oh, girl,
she don't know.
She
But
don't
I'm
know
coming
it,
soon. Look out for Bear Confessions. My friend invested into me, so I will be coming soon, launching everything, y'all.
Yes.
Just look
blogs,
for
a good read.
Yes.
We gonna get. She's gonna get real.
No, it's we, because when I eat, my friend eats. So
Yes.
Period. So, and I'm a little bit hungry. So, anyways, yes, good blog coming soon.
Just some little positivity before we end it. You got 2 cups. It should never be to the end to one relationship. Your relationship is empty. It should be to pour into each other continuously.
A balance.
Balance.
So both of y'all should always have half or more. Nobody should have less. Yes. So
agreed.
So all right. Thank y'all so much. And
Anybody want to hit my cash up?
no. All right, come on, T, take us out.
come
If
on.
they don't want to hit my
Spit a
cash up,
freestyle, bro. What you doing?
This ain't
Oh
free.
man.
I do this
No,
when I
come on,
want
Harvey,
to.
hit the-
Y'all ain't me. I'm really raw with this. You can never ever see. Yeah.
Talking with her.
I'm from Baton Rouge with WEBBIE. Yeah. I'm a sad